The climb continues. We move up in stakes in Stairway to Millions. It's final table coverage of event number 2, a $2,000 buy-in. And boy, do we have a stacked final table for you as we welcome you back to Las Vegas, back to the PokerGO Studio. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks. And Brent, what a lineup we have at Stairway to Millions.
Star-studded, this guy standing up, Chance Kornuth, one of the best to get it done, approaching $10 million in career earnings. Moving around the table, two-time bracelet winner Eric Baldwin, he's in the mix. Jeremy Ausmus, he won 2 bracelets this summer alone at the World Series of Poker. Star-studded, to say the least.
Kornuth just on fire, coming off that 16th place finish in the main for more than $300,000. There's Joelle Weinand, the owner of Wolf Down. I'm sure you've been there on occasion.
Absolutely, I had a lot of that over the fall. Tremendous German street food.
Love having the Weinands here. Love having Eric Baldwin here at the PokerGO Studios. A 4th place finish or better moves him past the $7 million mark in career live tournament earnings. Brock Wilson, we became acquainted with Brock throughout this last year at the Poker Masters, and Jeremy Ausmus. We know this guy, the winner of not 1, but 2 bracelets, as you said, at the World Series. And there's our chip leader. It's Jovan Santiago in his 3rd career tournament cash, kind of what Stairway to Millions is all about, yeah?
Living the Stairway to Millions dream. It is the ultimate poker parlay. Jovan Santiago brings in the chip lead today.
As we take a look at the leaderboard, and it is presented by Storm X Santiago with more than $4 million in chips. Weinand in 2nd, Ausmus, Kornuth, Baldwin, and Wilson round out our final table. It's event number 2. It's a $2,000 buy-in. 129 entries into this one.
You know what I mean?
19 spots paid. All players that made
that,
the money get a seat into event number 3, the 4K event that's going on right now at the PokerGO Studio. 50K, 100K with a 100K big blind ante.
Don't do it, Ausmus. Throws the best hand in poker right into the muck. A couple of mallards.
We say hello to everybody here on YouTube. Say what's up to us in the chat. Let us know where you are watching us from and who you're rooting for. Throw it all out there.
You're going to get a lot of this today, Jeff. Chance Kornuth kicks it up on the button. Min raise 200,000. Coming right after Eric Baldwin, one of the shorter stacks. Started the hand with 14 big blinds.
Where's our clock?
Hello to Wisco Baron.
23.
Malachi says, Joelle, let's go, girl.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like he just.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of Joelle fans.
This little box, and I don't think they'd ever been out of it.
I felt like that, like our dog.
Yeah, I didn't realize the 4K was like playing.
Look at what they're playing for.
Yeah,
Final 6 guaranteed.
They'll all be in here from now on.
$12,900. About a 5K pay jump.
Yeah, I don't.
6th to 5th.
Yeah, I don't think she'd ever seen another human or a car or like so. Yeah, everything terrified her.
The Weinands brought their dog Billy here to the studio.
Be careful when you fold.
A beautiful dog, Jeff.
Oh, sorry about that.
Looks sort of like a wolf, which is fitting considering her restaurant, Wolf Down.
Viewers from Pennsylvania, New Mexico, Atlanta, Wisconsin. Nick is here from the Ohio River Valley.
Joelle knows how to put those chips to use. Kicks it up here with ace-8 suited. 2nd largest stack to start the day. Attacking our short stack, Mr. Wilson.
Joelle Weinand from Canada. The owner of Wolf Down, restaurant that has made its way to Las Vegas. As we take a look at the overview for Stairway to Millions, we are on step 2. We go 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K, 15K, 25K, 50K, and then a 100K. You make the money, you make the next event. All events, 2-day, no limit Texas Hold'em tournaments, $3 million in guarantees. Both guarantees for our first 2 events have been absolutely shattered. Matt checking us out from New Zealand. Rowan here from Ireland. Thank you all for joining us.
From Waiheke Island, New Zealand to be exact, whatever that is. I know what these are though. That is a couple of 10s for Mr. Baldwin.
Starting this hand with about 12 bigs.
And this is a premium really for the button. He's fully aware of that, and this is interesting. Doesn't shove, Jeff, with the 12 big blind stack. Elects to perhaps induce.
His hand perhaps a bit too good.
Yeah.
To rip all the chips into the middle.
Looking for a little action.
And might get it with the 9-3 suited.
Can you all like read the clock? Like that one?
I can't see it.
Barely.
You can, okay.
I mean,
It's very
Can you
dim.
get the brightness up on it at all?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Viewers
Probably on,
from
like, auto
Canada,
brightness.
from
Yeah,
Serbia.
We gotta turn it up 'cause
It's
I can
cold
barely see
there.
double zero.
Serbia.
Yeah.
I say I'm like in front of it and I can barely see it.
Okay, that,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was just
Probably
my
cold
feet,
in
'cause I don't
Canada,
know.
too.
Cold in Wisconsin, which is where Eric
Yeah, I guess
Baldwin is
just always
from. I'll tell you that
announce
right now.
stuff on
Not
top
only
of
is
that,
Yeah, but
Eric
like
from
it's
Wisconsin,
still
but
got
also
You need
some-
to-
Scott
you
from
need
the
to
chat.
know. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I don't think we're going to get a remedy that's going to make it look great. So.
They just need the brightness all the way up. It should be simple enough. Here, throw it over here. I'll do it.
Yeah, here.
Jeremy, just fix it. Yeah. He's a problem solver.
I feel like, yeah, he'd be the guy to figure it out. I'm there.
Yeah,
Let's keep track of the body counts today. How many people Chance Kornuth just stares at?
I didn't get it.
Tries to look through
Be
their
pretty
soul.
high.
Hey, Paul. Go. Oh, you're in.
Our screen, this is really dim. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
And a walk, which is unheard of these
Jack and
days.
the 6.
If you're checking us out on YouTube, be sure to click that like and
crushed.
subscribe button. Very much appreciate that. Look at Jeremy Osmus, his bio board presented by GPI and THM. Won the 1K COVID relief event to kick off the 2021 World
Thank
Series
you.
of Poker. Then won the 50K High Roller
rubbing it
Putnam in
against the
Omaha to
felt actually
effectively
help
end the
something?
World Series of Poker.
Sure did.
Beating Phil Hellmuth heads up.
That's like the equivalent of like blowing in like the cartridge. Like,
I thought he did.
Nintendo.
That worked. Wait, are you old enough to know about blowing in the cartridge?
Oh, of course.
Really? I wouldn't think
Yeah.
you are.
I wouldn't think so. How old are you?
23.
How do you know about that?
My sisters are both older than me.
It's like
we
a-
had all kinds of Nintendo.
It's like lore now. Everyone knows about it. Passed downs through generations. The
That's
stories.
gonna die in the next 10 years. No one's gonna know about that.
Brock the Brain now, under 10 bigs, the ultimate short stack here. Queen 10 offsuit. I think it's good enough, Jeff. He's gonna pass.
Wow, you teased me,
Wow.
bro.
That is quite a tight fold, I think. It must be right if he's doing
Right,
it. He's got
right.
these spots so well studied.
Jovan Santiago told us a little bit earlier today before play started he'd rather wrestle an alligator than have to be stared down by Chance Kornuth.
I'd like
We
to
saw
watch
a glimpse of that earlier. The wrestling with the alligator or
Yeah.
the staring down from
I'd
Kornuth?
love to watch a little alligator wrestling. I wouldn't mind that. Be some great coverage.
It's true.
I'm gonna take some notes. Maybe that could be a new show.
Probably more likely to
All in.
see the stare down from Kornuth. Not here though,
Oh, my
although
goodness.
Kornuth looks down at 2 aces.
And watch him just sell this.
Just in case
Lots of
Santiago
counts.
is
Yeah. Keeps it calm, cool, collected.
I think it's 1.9.
You would have no
1.9.
idea this man has a couple of
7.5.
aces.
Osmus has run right into it.
About to wrestle with that alligator.
All in.
Ace, ace.
Yeah.
Cards on their backs, and yes, it is ace-ace for Chance Kornuth.
Good game, Chance.
Maybe. I hope not. I like playing these.
Osmus does have Kornuth covered.
There's another one right there you can play.
That's true.
Let's see if the 3-time bracelet winner can get lucky. And by 3-time, I mean Osmus, because Chance has also won 3.
All
Comes
right.
Queen 10-5. That's a decent start. for another queen or a jack. Does that a backdoor straight draw? The turn is an 8. Gut shot now for Osmus, looking for a queen or a jack or a 9 to eliminate Chance Kornuth. And the river is a 7.
750.
Kornuth doubles to more than 3.8 million. Bad news for the rest of the table.
He's going to be a problem. And Osmus now very short, down to 2 big blinds. Pretty unfortunate for Jeremy. Having aces behind him. This guy, Mr. Kornuth. What a start.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it looks good.
How many times, Jeff, have you cracked any aces yet this year, 2022? Our chat on PokerGO wants to know.
Keep them over to the side.
If that's happened.
They're hard to
Not
get,
yet,
man.
not yet for me.
Yeah.
What about you? You don't play at all.
No, I don't really play enough to crack aces, do I?
No.
I kind of did too.
Glad
I was
we have you
surprisingly
as an
nervous.
analyst.
I did my hair today.
But I will.
was like, God damn it.
Look at Chance Kornuth's Bio Award
Forgot
presented
how
by
slow
GPI-THM.
They put it out when it's
I
on
know.
resale.
They
Like,
really
oh
make
my
it feel the
god.
sweat,
3 World Series bracelets for Kornuth, including one at the 2021 World Series on the 10K short deck.
Online, you can just look away and then look back and see if you're have the thing says you finished in X place. Or
I have a friend who minimizes his all-ins.
really?
Yeah.
I used to do that actually a lot.
How can you do that?
I don't know. I can't look away. Oh, no, there we go.
This works for 2 bigs
How much?
and the 8s.
Thank you.
And it could be a great spot. Chance is certainly going to come along for the ride. Question is, do we consider isolating or just call?
Chance says just call.
He opts for the latter.
Joelle with queen 7.
225.
Joelle with a price, opportunity to eliminate a player and make a little bit of money.
2 players, 1 all in.
Ace, 10, 7. Kornuth takes the lead. Osmus in some trouble.
And he's looking to lead right now and try and just get this thing heads up.
That's 225.
Puts his hand right on his forehead. Get max value just in case Joelle has a 10 or a 7. Try and extract some value as well as protect yourself from draws.
Nice laydown with that 7. Osmus solid and at risk. And needing a little bit of help. Can he find an 8-ball on the turn?
What's that?
He cannot. He's going to need one on the river. He's out in 6th. River card.
And we
for
all
3.
go up the rankings of best-looking people at the table.
Great way to sum it up as we say goodbye to Jeremy
Good
Osmus out in
Good to see you,
6th
brother.
for $12,900.
He'll take that $12,900, put it right in the bank, and now he can hop in the 4K, which is running as we speak. He won his seat yesterday by
wondering where you're
cashing
going with that.
this event.
I was like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Look at this out.
There
How
are so many like,
stylish
fun
is this
needles
guy?
that could go. Like he won 2 bracelets during the summer. He always, it's, you know, I mean,
I was gonna say, like, I didn't get needled once by chance. He actually said something nice. Like, thanks.
I was trying to say like at least there's another tournament for you to play as well.
Yeah.
But
See you guys.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll see
only said
plenty
the
more
mean-
of Jeremy Osmus
Yeah.
throughout the course of the week.
Certainly will. Might be the classiest guy in the game.
Yeah. Wisco Baron in the YouTube chat as Hank says you got to risk it to get the biscuit, and judging by Hank's waistline, he has been risking it a lot.
Pretty good,
That's
Wisco.
pretty good, Wisco. He Lion says, dim the lights from Vegas. No gamble, no future. That's what we like to hear. Go, Joelle, go. Santiago with ace 9. He is now in second. Kornuth is our chip leader.
Raise 225.
He's got a devious little grin on him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Santiago,
I
yeah.
would've
Seems like he's
screwed
happy to be
If
here.
I
He's
shoved
loving
I almost shoved my hand. He probably would have folded, and I would have beat your aces.
What'd you
Would've been
have?
different.
7-8 suited or something? 10-8
Something along
suited.
those lines. I had something that could have shoved. I'm glad I didn't do it, but I would have beat you.
I'm glad you didn't do it.
I,
Weinand calls out of the
he
small
not only got
ball.
his whole stack, but he also got his 250, and then worked out well.
Weinand
I'm a
is
big fan.
Yeah.
fiercely
Very content with the
competitive
result.
when
Yeah.
it comes to poker. And my goodness, speaking of a competitor, how about 210s again for Eric Baldwin?
With 12 bigs behind.
What a spot.
10 seconds.
Already 650,000 in the middle.
All in.
All of it.
Can I get a count, please?
Santiago, is he considering it with ace-9 offsuit? Perhaps suspects that Baldwin could be light here, squeezing.
1.325 total.
Santiago's first appearance inside the PokerGO Studio.
He's really given this some extra thought. I thought for sure he would have folded by now.
Time bank used, granting him an additional 30 seconds to act.
No doubt Baldwin can get out of line from time to time and squeeze light. Maybe he would do it with a hand like ace-5 suited, of which we would have dominated.
All in?
Wow.
Wow, and here we go. Santiago reshoves Weinand out of the way, and it's Eric Baldwin all in, at risk, and in good shape with 2 10s against Jovan Santiago's ace-9.
Baldwin surprised, I think, to be in such a good spot here. Saw that brow lift.
Who's announcing this?
I get
Platt,
one.
Platt and Hanks?
Yep.
Break it up a bit.
A great question.
Jesus.
Why is that so funny? Anyway, 10s against ace-9.
What do you think they're saying?
I don't know.
Look at Baldy squirming his chair.
If I bust, it's that I couldn't go on without Jeremy by my side.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I have no doubt they rode here together. They do everything together. I've hung out with those two guys many times.
Jack, 3. So far, so good for Eric Baldwin.
Sweatiest cards, a king or a queen?
Yeah, I guess so.
Turn card is a 4. No help to Santiago, who needs an ace and an ace only to eliminate Eric Baldwin. It's an 8 on the river.
So 1-3-2-5.
Here comes Baldy.
Yeah, here he comes, Jeff. Chance Kornuth already with a big double up, and now Eric Baldwin, two of the best Las Vegas locals to get it done. And that is critical. What a spot for Baldwin. We can save the jokes for later because he is moving on up.
Now second in chips with about 30 bigs. Santiago falls down to 4th.
You were cracking a bit too, so it was a little bit at the end.
Baseball player at Wisconsin Whitewater.
Yeah, one hell of a baseball player at that. He led them to the national championship at Wisconsin Whitewater. Years later, he donated $200,000 to put up lights for that baseball field. 2 boys at home, and his wife Mary, no doubt, tuning in.
Do you have 3 stacks of purple or 4?
4.
Thank you.
Baldwin won a 1K in 2009 and a 1,500 in 2018 at the series.
And that bracelet win in 2018 happened to be on his wife's birthday as well. Very special moment for that family.
200,000.
Kornuth opens, Weinand calls on the button with the king-9 of clubs.
I like this. Joelle's getting sticky. Not going away. King-9 suited going to take it in position against Chance Kornuth. And let the stare downs begin. Let's watch Chance as he not only navigates this pot, but watch what his eyes do. He always looks for live tells. He tries to pick up anything he can from his opponent.
Ace 8-7 with one club. Kornuth flops an ace.
Yeah.
650K in the pot, as you see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
Look at that upper left. Watch him just stare her down every motion.
Aces and 5s for Kornuth. Got shot for Weinand.
And a defensive check back, trying to pot control on the flop by Kornuth. Now, clearly, we've turned a powerhouse. Aces up, and certainly will bet for value in hopes of getting a little bit of action.
300,000.
He'll lead for 300K.
And here come the eyes right on Joelle. Chance is just staring her down, watching every motion, her eyes, her head. He is a big believer in live tells and picking up reads.
She's out of the way. We see Jeremy Osmus has just sat down in that 4K. Jumps right into the mix. Veason in the chat asks, what's the cheapest cash game stakes at the RF? Brent?
Well, according to Jake Stubbing, works here at the area, that'd be 1-3 no limit and 1-2 PLO.
PokerGO Tour continues in February with the PokerGO Cup. This 8-event series starts February 2nd. Our coverage starts on the 3rd. It culminates with a $100,000 buy-in finale. Can defending PokerGO Cup champion Daniel Negreanu run it back? Or will someone else take the crown? Watch the PokerGO Cup right here on PokerGO. That's just in a couple weeks.
Certainly is, Jeff. We have got one heck of a packed schedule for Q1. A lot of events coming through the PokerGO Studio, all a part of the PokerGO Tour.
Weinand looks down at not just the King of Diamonds, but the King of Hearts as well.
Yeah, giddy up. A couple cowboys now for the foodie.
You got just a hair under 3 now, Eric?
I think that's right.
Brock really not giving that
Like
much
Palazzo all
thought.
over again.
Takes his time with many decisions.
Santiago
You,
also
me, and
with the
Brock
Jack
were in the
7
same.
off and
I
just
know.
flings
That's right,
it
I
into the
forgot
mud.
about that.
Yeah, a little
Well, I didn't
misstep
last
there,
too
I think,
long,
from
but I
Santiago
was there.
early to double up Eric Baldwin with the ace-9
there.
offsuit. Overly aggressive, but you know, Jeff, it's hard to fault the guy when you're the sort of the lone amateur coming in to this table. You don't have a ton of experience in poker tournaments, which we know.
That was pretty big. What was it? like
You're
four
allowed to
something?
take those higher variance risks. And nice little bio here from Joelle. A little background on her story.
Wolf Down recently opened in Vegas. It's also
Yeah,
in
it's
Ottawa,
quite funny.
Toronto, and Calgary. And there is Jeremy Osmus with Mehdi Anushar to
What was
his
that,
left.
like,
Anushar has cashed in
It was right around
both
200, I think.
Stairway to Millions events so far. So
Joelle's
was earned a seat.
husband, Daniel Weinand, was also at that table. Both love to compete. As Joelle again has 2-9. She considers herself to be more of a feel player, goes off instincts and the psychology of the game, whereas her husband Daniel is the analytical numbers guru. And they talk a lot of poker. They argue about a lot of poker.
Yeah.
They are equally competitive, and they're very good.
Kornuth 7-6 off. Look at this.
Okay, 675 total.
Brings up the 3-bet and makes it 675,000.
Yeah, and this, you know, extremely aggressive by Chance from the big blind. Experimental betting and sizing and pre-flop play. You can see Joelle is not thrilled to be in this spot. She's here to compete, to have fun.
10 seconds.
Will she read this as strength because it is from the big blind? Knowing how many short stacks are at this table, specifically this guy, Brock Wilson, with only 7 big blinds.
That's exactly what Joelle was looking at. She fires in a time bank for an additional 30 seconds to act.
She knows that Chance is fully capable of applying maximum pressure in these spots. Look at this, it might work. She's reaching it.
10 seconds.
Sort of looks like she does want to fold.
Call.
Makes the call. Just like that, there's 1.5 million in the middle.
Yeah.
Weinand with 1.8 million behind. 10-10-6, 10s and 6s for Kornuth. No
This
good
is
two
trouble for Kornuth. I think for Joelle, this is a safe texture for her with 2 9s. She's looking to avoid a lot of the Broadway types of holding that you would suspect Chance would have from the big blind. Absolutely not going to fold now. Tiny sizing by Chance, 275,000 into 1.5 million. A down bet.
Well, Weinand will call once again. Turn is a 4. Weinand's hand is best.
Check.
Yeah, things are a little bit slippery now for Chance. What do we do? On a variety of rivers. If Joelle does decide to check here,
Which she
there it
does.
is. Oh, 6-7 offsuit is just obviously, Jeff, in dire straits. Let's see if he comes with small sizing, sort of as a blocker bet,
Check.
and hopes he's never raised. He's just going to check it.
Checks down.
It goes check, check. Weinand will show down the winner.
I think Chance is probably relieved that he didn't lose any
My
more
first
chips
time
in that pot.
extension Ever.
First time bank she's ever used here at the PokerGO Studio.
Typically a faster player doesn't take time on too many decisions.
At least I got
Chance put her in a very difficult spot there.
Ruined my reputation.
Chip denominations presented
Never
by Thrive.
losing one.
Yeah, that's
Purple
what I
chips
said.
were 25K. Aria, or I'm sorry, the yellow Aria Bumblebee chips worth 100K apiece. I mean, I shouldn't say sorry for calling them Aria chips. They are here at Aria.
I think they are Aria chips,
Yeah.
Jeff.
50,
So I take
125.
back the apology.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you. Really crushed that read.
Slide those yellows a little bit more forward.
Oh yeah, right.
Speaking of crushing, this guy probably crushes in life. Matthew Bryan says, that woman wears her cards on her face. Not sure how she has made it this long. Cards just fell for her. Yep, that's fantastic analysis, Matthew.
That is
You're a
terrible
lot
insight.
of fun to hang out with. He said that after she had kings and both guys folded terrible hands. So it must be the read, you know.
Of course.
You have
Right.
3 stacks of
A
yellows.
chat pro.
Yeah, I started with
Pro.
a little under 2.
The worst kind. But thanks for being here, Matthew. Jovan opens here with the Jack 10.
Chance has had enough. He's out of here.
He's out.
Heads up.
Weinand defends with ace 10. 4-3 deuce. Ace high is best.
At 175.
Lines have gone up to 50K, 125K with a 125K big blind ante.
Santiago's clearly been studying the tape, watching a lot of the PokerGO high rollers, which he did tell us, Jeff, prior to the final table starting. He came with a down bet here on the flop to 175,000. Trying to buy himself from cheaper later streets, faces resistance from the best hand that is ace 10. And now this queen, this is sort of favorable for him. Let's see if he tries to barrel twice and size this thing up. It is awkward. 1.6 million behind in his stack with $1 million already in the middle.
10 seconds.
Here it comes. He's counting it out. This kid has clearly been studying the film.
At 425.
Fires 425,000.
Whether it works or it doesn't, this is well executed by Santiago. Puts this sort of holding in a very bad spot.
Gets it done.
Beautiful.
Can't say on that one.
It doesn't really matter for me. I'm kind of not going to get in that kind of decision in my stack. But
Jovan Santiago. This is
We do
third
get to see
career
You do
tournament
get to see
cash.
well, we'll find out.
His second was in the first event at Stairway to
I
Millions.
had a queen.
Oh man.
Invests in crypto, trades crypto and NFTs. From Leominster, I don't know how you say
I
it,
think
Massachusetts.
it's Leominster, Massachusetts, Jeff, which happens to be the home of Johnny Appleseed. You ever heard of him?
Did you make that up?
No, that's true. That's facts.
It's actually the home of Johnny Appleseed.
Might be related as well. Have to do those ancestry things.
Well, you think this works for Brock Wilson here?
I think it's good enough, Brock the Brain. Ace King suited. Come on, man. Let's play ball. Stick it in.
Ball goes into the middle. Baldwin with queen 4, not quite good enough. Shove gets through for Wilson, who won a 10K at the Poker Masters. That was his lone win on the 2021 PokerGO Tour. Former banker out of Fordham. And really a breakout player, I would say,
Yeah,
in
he had
2021.
a very nice year in 2021. Rough World Series of Poker, you know, such large fields. He didn't have the opportunity to study a lot of the final table spots. He dove back into
keep lifting the
online to
front
prepare
when you fold.
himself for
Did you see it again?
high rollers
It's
that are
like
typically
close enough
smaller
that, like, I'm
fields.
I don't know what the card
There he
is,
is
but
already
I
at his
can
first
say
final
something.
table in
All right.
2022.
I'll give it the slide just from the next set.
You know, Brock went to Fordham. Jeff, you ever heard of Fordham?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Where is it?
No idea. Probably in the Northeast.
That would be
Sounds like it would be in the Northeast.
New York City area. Do you know what their mascot is?
A ram?
It is a ram.
Yeah.
It's a ram. Very well done. Probably the worst Atlantic 10 program as far as sports are
In
considered.
the history of the
In the
conference.
history of the conference by a long shot.
129 entries in event number 2 of Stairway to Millions. 19 players cash, which means 19 players were awarded seats into the 4K, the next step on the ladder here at this new series.
Now, Jeff, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We've had a 1K, a 2K. How many players total have cashed in both and are currently living the poker parlay into today's 4K?
I'm going to go with 7.
Is that right?
7.
Is that a guess or
and
is
that
that accurate?
includes, no, that is accurate.
Yeah.
That does include Jovan Santiago, who's in the big blind in this hand. And will be facing this from Brock Wilson. Ooh, Santiago with queen 10.
Ooh, could be a qualifier. Not in terrible shape if he does, in fact, make the call.
Probably good enough. Obviously, we can see in this specific scenario, it is not good. The queen 10 for 6 bigs, blind versus blind.
got to throw it in the
Lays
muck.
it down.
That would, yeah.
And I think the brain
Oh, I thought you were
showed him
weak
the
as shit.
goods with ace-king.
Nah, I had the queen 10.
Funny. Very, very funny. Should have told me king 8 though. I've been more annoyed.
Brock
about
thinks
that.
he's joking, I think, or no?
No, yeah, Brock does think he's joking.
Yeah.
He really did have queen 10.
Right. So like, come on, man.
I
When
don't
you're
think
joking
Brock
with me, tell me king 8.
Yeah, I don't think Brock believes he would fold that hand.
Shut them both.
Sorry.
Dexa says hi from Germany. Great broadcast.
hard
Thank you
down.
very much. Dexa, welcome.
I think so. After.
Queen 8 of diamonds now for Santiago.
And, you know, you can't see it, but I guarantee Chance is staring directly at Santiago right now, trying to pick up information already. Oh, look at this, just rips it. 18 big blinds.
And Kornuth has the queen 10 suited.
Over 2, right?
It's about 2.3.
Sad. It's a pretty hand. Got me to fold a lot of equity.
Jack 9 suited.
Queen 10 suited.
Really nice stuff by Santiago there. Makes up for it. Gets a better hand to fold.
Hear the voice of tournament director Paul Campbell in the background, setting the stage for event number 3, our 4K.
Baldwin takes a look at King Deuce suited, and I'm curious with the chat, who are you guys rooting for today? Let us know. Jeff and I are here with you. Type it in there. Make sure you like, subscribe.
Raise 250 total. Seconds.
Kornuth is looking like he wants to raise. Guy is so intimidating, isn't he?
Absolutely. Put yourself in the shoes of Jovan Santiago. First time in this studio. First time playing poker on stream. You're staring at this guy. And he's staring at you.
Oh.
Kornuth calls out of the small blind. Weinand with the ace-5 off.
Oh. 2 players.
King 10-8, 2 hearts. Top pair for Santiago, the open ender for Kornuth.
Yeah, we're certainly going to see future streets, no doubt. Santiago with top pair. 2 customers, one of which has plenty of equity. Chance Kornuth open-ended there in the small blind. A lot of folks rooting for him today.
Got 350.
Oh my.
Kornuth just lays down the Jack-9.
That is interesting, Jeff.
You call it shove free?
Open-ended and just gets away with it, perhaps because the
Probably not.
texture is a little wet. Worried about Joelle there in the big blind and just says that's enough.
Here's a look at what our players have accomplished. Osmus with 3 bracelets, Kornuth with 3 bracelets, Baldy with 2, Brock Wilson certainly a force to be reckoned with. Weinand and Santiago are more inexperienced players. But man, their passion for poker is right there with the rest of them.
I love the game. Santiago's only 23 years old. He just started playing live poker. I assume because of all of his success with the NFT and crypto world.
You're a big NFT guy, yeah? Crypto?
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, big. What does it mean again?
NFT?
Yeah.
Non-fungible token? But don't say what does that mean. because then
Fungible token. Yeah.
all of it with the A7 of hearts. Weinand with the Ace-3 of diamonds, shove for about 8 bigs.
Count, please.
Baldwin has a pretty one in the form of the Jack-10 of clubs.
This is probably very close, hence why Baldwin is asking for a count. He is 4th in chips with 21 big blinds to start this hand. Brock the Brain Wilson is our short stack with 8 big blinds, and Baldwin throws it away.
Wilson told us before play that he's feeling very confident in his game. Feels less pressure now when he's here at the studio on a televised final table.
I was good with a fold.
Now, Jeff, those NFTs you were referencing.
Yes.
If you look here in the studio, back left behind Chance, Joelle, the art, right there.
Yes.
Is that an NFT right there?
No, because that's something that's fungible. It's there.
Right.
Right.
It's
so you get it now, right?
And well,
All in.
All in.
I don't really get art. I mean, it looks
just
like
rips
my
it in the cutoff.
kids made that. You just dump a bucket of paint, and that's what came out on a square. Then you sell it for what, 3 million coins?
Well, your argument about that specific painting is directed more towards art in general and people's opinions
well,
of it.
isn't that what isn't an NFT a form of art?
I guess, but your specific complaint with those paintings.
I'm not complaining.
Which,
I'm simply just observing and
apologies
critiquing.
to the artist.
I'm just saying it looks like I could do that. Give me a bucket of paint,
Okay,
swirl
well,
up a bunch of
okay,
colors, dump it on a little square, and there you have it.
I would love to do that.
I'm a big art guy.
Just to guess those paintings won't be there next time.
Do a little dipsy-do with a paintbrush, you know?
I mean, that could be the next Picasso who made those.
Little twirly. It's like a sherbet color.
Raise 200,000.
You seem like a big sherbet guy.
Don't like sherbet. Baldwin opens on the button. Sizes up a little bit more.
Never seen that combo before, Brock?
Dr. Evil.
No, that combo.
That
You
combo.
looked at your hand, you were like,
Well, if you're enjoying the show today,
no
folks, and
go.
you want to hear more about art and
I
NFTs
mean,
and
it looked
specifically
like I
the
was
Stairway to
timing the
Millions,
10,
do us a
and then
favor.
I
We
looked
want to
closer,
keep
I was
doing
like,
this
that's not
every
a
day
10
with
and
you
a 10.
guys throughout the series. Keep having chat,
Surprise.
interacting with you. Click the
Would you have
thumbs
gotten 10?
up. Take us
What
to
else?
300 thumbs up. We're going to do this every single day. That'll be my only request here. Jeff, have you clicked the thumbs up yet?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Prove it.
Well, here you go. It's
Thank
there.
you.
No problem.
Very good.
Have you?
Yep.
Yep. Proven. Oh. Guess I had the definition of fungible wrong all along.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. However, this does surprise me. Santiago wakes up with a couple of bullets in the small blind.
Smile always gets me.
I mean, you're folding?
No.
Probably not going to
Having to
fold.
look at my cards.
Probably not going to fold, Chance. Just a guess. How does he proceed, though?
Oh, that's got to be. I wonder if Chance reads this as strength. You go through the smiling, the giggling, back and forth, and then you just raise 475. Look at that, yeah.
The comment and then the big raise. What do you make of that, Chance?
I had a bad hand, so I folded. That's all
That's all you know.
I'm a very simple creature.
Okay, that's fair.
Even Brock picked it up, right? Brock the Brain, more of the online wizard. The comment and then the raise. You just don't see that very often.
Sure.
I saw the bottom card when you brought that up.
Judith in the YouTube chat, please identify the artist. I'm sure the artist copyrighted. It must be identified. You know, Judith, I don't think this artist wants to be identified now after getting torched by Brent.
It's not torched. I'm simply talking about how I would create a square painting for my house. That's what I would do. I don't know what goes into such beautiful mastery. I know you did a lot of art classes at USC when you attended.
I did not.
That's probably why your GPA was sky high.
It's very low. 2.7.
I mean, that's embarrassing.
It's pretty
right?
low.
Yeah,
It's
your
pretty
parents
low.
must
Well,
be.
The TV class, it was a struggle.
A TV? What did you just have to watch TV?
Just showed up and watched like a new premiere of some HBO series.
And
It was a tough class.
You didn't pass that?
I almost didn't pass. I got there though.
Because you didn't watch the program?
No, I feel like I watched some of the time. Some of the shows were boring. Some of them were nice.
And because they were boring to you, you almost failed?
I guess. Weird translation from class description to final grade.
All in.
All in.
Oh, this time Kornuth has had enough. King 10 off. In your eye. And it's going to work. I think we go fold here. Santiago cannot call with 10 side, 10-9 suited. Very pretty hand. Unless he just decides to, no gamble, no future. He's going to throw in the muck.
Nick says, legitimately becoming annoyed by this outdated modern art joke. Well, do you have any more ammunition in that one?
I don't know, but that must be the artist.
Chance tweets, the Stairway to Millions series is exactly what PokerGO events needed, well run as always. Talked to him before play. He said this was the perfect introduction to some players who wanted to get involved here in the high roller scene at the PokerGO Studio. Less intimidating entry point.
I mean, we have so many of these.
I might have saw 9 of spades. Jovan Santiago?
Close.
Something like that.
10 of spades.
Oh.
Yeah, Matthew Bryan in the chat says, despite the
fans, Bobby,
creepy
don't
stare,
forget.
Kornuth got these guys and gals dialed up. And that's, you have to wonder if that's part of the plan for Kornuth. So true. You make your opponents uncomfortable, constantly staring. Timex, Mike McDonald used to have a hell of a stare down when
he
he
really
would play.
did.
I don't know, Chad. Who do you guys think? Who's
Fold
got the
all the way
best
through.
stare
Will they
down
still show his hand
in all of
like, on the
poker? Let
reader?
us know
Yeah.
I think so.
Like,
in the
probably.
chat. Even you,
So like if you get aces, but
old
never
Nick
look, you'll know.
McDonald had a farm.
know, yeah.
Let
Oh,
us
yeah, we'll
know.
tell him after the next
Probably getting told that in 30 minutes regardless.
Yeah, we'll definitely find a way to let him know.
Raise 250.
Kornuth opens with the 10-6 suited. Max aggression from Chance throughout today's final table. Weinand calls on the button with Queen Jack.
That's it.
Ace, Queen, 7, no diamonds.
Okay. Okay.
Check, check, king on the turn. Got shots for both, Weinand way ahead.
Chance considering now all of a sudden, could I bet
10 seconds.
with a smidgen of equity? Is there a chance I'm up against a small pocket pair?
At 800,000.
Oh, and look at this, a pot-sized bet on the turn from Kornuth.
Look at that, indeed. And just puts this exact hand in a very troublesome spot. All of a sudden, it's third pair with just a gut shot, facing a pot-sized bet. Very awkward because of how shallow the stack sizes are. This is really beautiful by Chance Kornuth. I think it works.
Yeah, well done there. Kornuth back up to more than 4 million in chips.
And just an amazing play by a great player, Chance Kornuth. And Jeff, back to the chat, those stare downs. A lot of Chidwick, Ivy, Alex Foxen. Pretty much it.
Yeah,
Ivy's one. Someone said Pat Lyon.
Yeah. Well, that's weird. It's awkward,
Does he
right?
do a stare down? I don't know, but that's.
Where do you get those things from?
That tells me something when you only get 3 big names. Tom Dwan is mentioned in there.
Wanted to play this hand fast for Brock.
250.
I've been aware of that for sure. You see me looking over
You
it.
see me look at one right as it comes.
Hope you got to join us earlier on stream, a couple minutes before we went on air. We gave you a behind-the-scenes look at the setup for our final table broadcast, talked to some of the players. Maybe we'll keep that up.
I would love to keep that up.
It's kind of cool.
How
So
many does the
everybody's
4K
sitting
have?
down, getting ready to go.
Anything and everything behind the
like
scenes.
40
And you know what?
something.
Chance just asked a great question. How many are
Three
in
saw? Or, sorry, 6
today's 4K,
Oh,
Jeff?
yeah,
How
you
about
wanna
I
give us
bring
an
up a
update?
little live reporting, which you
Good.
can find at pgt.com.
And you do that, I'll explain Stairway to Millions a bit. A series of 8 no-limit hold'em tournaments. Starts at the 1K price point. Everybody who cashes in that tournament also gets an entry into the 2K. So we go 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K, 15K, 25K, 50K. You could spin it all the way up to a $100,000 buy-in tournament. Go ahead.
7 people thus far have a chance to do just that as they have cashed every event. The 4K, excluding the 5 remaining at this final table, up to 47 players
First one's
already.
too good to look at the second one.
Chris Moorman is in the top 5. How about Mehdi Anushar?
One
He
of the
is in the top
players
3.
who has
One,
cashed
yeah.
both.
With it.
And Punat Puntri, who has been on fire on the PokerGO Tour, is our current chip leader.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much with the 9 to call it.
Well, yeah.
Kornuth, one of the 7 who has cashed in both. Same can be said for Santiago. Rounding out that list of 7, Long Louis with a 20th and 11th place finish. Jake Perry, 26th, and then final table bubbled this event. Steven Song, 17th and 12th. And Ching Lu, who finished in 5th place in event number 1, finished in 18th in event number 2. Ace 10 for Santiago on the button, a little bit more than 20 bigs.
Santiago entered today's final table as the chip leader. And a little bit of a setback in a hand against Eric Baldwin a little while ago. Gonna kick things up. Kornuth has been a thorn in his side thus far.
Weinand with ace queen in the big blind.
This is a very bad spot for Santiago. If Weinand shoves, I don't know if Santiago
All in.
gets away from the ace 10.
There is that shove.
Can I get a count, please?
A little less than 20 bigs.
$2.2 million total.
Nice lay down by
Very
Santiago.
good fold. Discipline. And perhaps recognizing how
Blinds up,
short
Paul.
his neighbor Brock Wilson is. 700,000 chips.
When are we doing the first break?
Okay.
I'm curious too with the chat. We already talked about the
when's the
best
first
stare
break
downs. What player or players do you want to see the most at the Stairway to Millions? Who haven't we seen so far? Daniel Negreanu comes to mind. He did join us in our chat yesterday. I don't think he'll be playing this series. But who are we missing? Who do you guys want to see? Let us know. And I'll tell you what, I'll start texting him. Get over here, Stairway to Millions, Mr. Phil Hellmuth.
Oh.
Get over here.
Okay. Now we're talking.
While you're at it, click that thumbs up.
Yeah.
We are trying to get to 300 thumbs up. We got to hit that mark if we want to keep the chat going and keep these streams going.
And most of the people in the chat say easy fold with the ace-10, but Brent, I'm with you. I think that's much more borderline, and in theory, with no ICM considerations at all, I think that's definitely a call with the ace-10.
It's very
so I think
close.
that's a very tough laydown for Santiago.
And, you know, I know you're saying there's no ICM considerations, but, you know, you don't want to become very you'd be the ultimate short stack, right? You'd have less than Brock Wilson in the event that you were to lose the hand. So there is sort of an ICM.
No, I get that. I'm just saying
regard.
outside of this, with not at a final table, ace-10 would be a call in that specific spot. 20 big blinds.
Got you. Yep.
Weinand calling out of the small blind with the 4s. Baldy will jump in there with the queen-7 of hearts.
Hand good enough, and Eric Baldwin, so well studied in these spots, knows exactly what he should be calling with 3 ways.
Comes 8, 5, 3. Doesn't really connect with anybody. Weinand's hand is best.
Yeah, this is a tough one for Weinand. Just calling with 2 4s, unless you make a sailboat, it's very hard to continue to navigate.
Out of position, especially difficult.
This sort of texture, look at Chance. He is just going to unleash the beast.
Max pressure, again, throughout the course of the day from Kornuth.
325,000.
Even if you feel like your 4s are best, you have to now be concerned and worried about Baldwin in the big blind having some sort of 8 or a 5. Just a clinic by Kornuth gets it done with just king-7 high.
To extend his
Had one that
chip
could have
lead.
got Brock a page out there.
I was like, this is the kind of board where, like, some stuff can get in, but.
Kornuth with more than 40% of the chips in play. As we take a look at our leaderboard, it is presented by StormX. Chance's name on top.
Yeah.
Almost 5.4
That
million.
baseline going, Jeff. Huh?
Santiago back in the 2nd, Weinand in 3rd, Baldwin in 4th, and Brock Wilson is still our short stack.
Little jam band for you, Jeff.
Music's been nice.
Fantastic. I know you've never been to a real rock concert, but
that's true.
It's a little taste for you right there.
That
a lot of
is
Celine
absolutely
Dion up
true.
your way. Some requests
true
of
also.
players they'd like to see. How about Adamo, Garrett Adelstein, Phil Hellmuth, Frank Stallone, Ronaldo, Doyle Brunson, Rick Solomon, Tony
The first one, the
G.
queen or the 5? Great.
A lot of great answers.
All
a lot
in
of
and a
great
call
requests.
here, and same hand.
Oh, and you both have 2 live suits? This is
Hearts
exciting.
and spades versus diamonds and clubs. Blind versus blind.
I like them both. Let them chop it.
I don't think we've had really any all-ins versus each other, so I don't know who runs better, but.
We're about to find out.
So they wear the same shirt. They play the same hands.
There should be a word for this, like when there's an all-in.
Both
and it's
have
just
huge
like
brains.
The run-out chatter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, there should be a term
No
for it.
sweat.
I think we could
All right, speed it up. It's a chop.
It's a chop.
I don't care what they're telling you.
We're like, just do it. Come on.
Sahib says Jeff listens to Celine Dion. Absolutely.
How about Adele, Jeff? I mean, they're big, a big venue series for Adele coming up.
Coliseum
I'll go to
series.
that. You want to go to Adele together?
No.
Well, we'd have such a great time, wouldn't we?
We wouldn't.
Could send the pictures back to, well, my wife and your whatever you got going on in your personal life.
Who am I going to send a picture to?
Buddy. Did you get Buddy a cell phone yet?
No, I have not gotten my dog a cell phone yet. Now, Jack in the YouTube chat says everyone loves a chop pot. Is that true?
That's not true.
It's not
actually
true.
one
sure?
of
I
the
thought I've heard that
worst.
before.
I don't know why they ever came up with that ditty. It's horrific.
Thank you.
Ace Queen for Baldwin. I like this hand. I think I know what I would do with it. This has to be incoming. There's a world in which, no, I don't think I'd ever flat here because Wilson is so short.
Yeah,
How about
Baldy
the whole
says all of
pile?
it.
All in.
So the blinds have gone up 75K, 150, or 150,000 big blind
That
ante.
was funny when you said that. You already knew you were shoving.
Didn't work.
Another good request from the chat.
It's a
Luke
nice stack you
Schwartz
have there,
being a part of the
Yeah.
Stairway to Millions. Boy,
This
he'd
on
be a
you.
treat, wouldn't he? Love that. From BC in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us, tuning in. Event number 2 here at the Stairway to Millions. You can see the format right there. Every time you cash an event, you move on to the following event, a bit of a satellite system, the Ultimate Poker Parlay.
We are across all platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and we will be every single minute of this series. Ace-9 for Wilson.
All in.
Puts that little nub in the middle, 550,000. That's 3 big blinds.
Count, please. 550?
Yeah.
150,000.
Chance, the chip leader opportunity to eliminate an opponent. I think the price is just right. Just got to flick in a couple bumblebees and try to take care of business here.
I like keeping you short.
And there is the advantage of not calling, keep them short, but here we go.
So Wilson all in and at risk with Ace-9 up against Chance's King-4.
2 live suits again. Not that. Well, actually, that's not even true.
No, I can't make hearts.
That's true.
You got me crushed.
I do. Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for whatever gives me more money, unfortunately.
Well, that's Chance.
Me too.
Jack 7-4.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Kornuth takes
I
the
don't blame
lead.
you.
Do I like having, I'm going to lose all my friends.
It's about a
I
5K
appreciate
pay
your
jump.
I'm going to be on an island.
Yeah.
Turn brings another 7.
Sweaty
So
card.
Wilson could find a jack
It's
or
all
an
right.
ace or a
all right.
9 to stay alive.
All right.
It's the king
Go
on the
game,
river.
Wilson.
That'll do it for Brock Wilson. Out in 5th, $18,060. And Brent, where do you think he's headed off to?
Well, Brock the Brain's going to head right over to the 4K and put that noggin back to work. Try and run up a stack over there. And the awkward exit, 18,000 will make you a little bit more happy, won't it, Brock? He missed the cage, Jeff. He just left the building. Where's he
well,
going? He's got to get in there. Get those chips
Maybe
in
a
play, man.
Starbucks trip.
For you
Quick
guys
lap.
tuning in, I'm curious. Anybody going to come out and play the Stairway to Millions next year when we bring it back? Let us know. What do you think about this format? Do you like the opportunity to step up rung after rung on this ladder, this parlay into the 100K main event?
Can still come by this year. Gaming Lawyer Live in the chat. Where's this event held at? We're at the Ario Resort and Casino and the PokerGO Studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks in the broadcast booth. Kornuth down at the ace-8 in the small blind. Just going to rip it.
All in.
Todd,
19's a
TOD
good one,
on
right?
Twitch. Can we get some Jeff
also-
interviews, World Series of Poker style? I'm stuck sitting next to Brent, unfortunately, for this one. But we've been chatting with the players beforehand, and maybe you'll see a little bit of that coverage a bit
Can you
later
please
on.
stand up? And Someone earlier in the chat, and I'm going to try and scroll back and find out who it was. There it is. Nathaniel Chase said Maria Ho, somebody they'd like to see here. Well, guess what?
Oh,
Nathaniel Chase.
People stacking
Maria
tens,
Ho
how do you
will
even
be
know how much
joining
that is?
us for later events, I believe.
You'll have your
Zoom.
interviews then.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's your
Finally
interviews.
someone got onto that. Second time I said that one.
$23,220 guaranteed to our final four. Another 5K pay jump from 4th to 3rd. This is Santiago's biggest career score.
Raise 300,000.
And a top 4 finish ensures that Eric Baldwin will pass the $7 million mark in career live tournament earnings, which is an impressive number considering he doesn't play the super high buy-ins.
Although 6.9 million is pretty nice.
I'm sure you liked that one, yeah.
And I think he likes this hand right here.
All in.
Just going to stick it right in Kornuth's
Sad I
eye.
didn't get a speech this time.
Hadn't looked.
Fair enough.
Well done, Eric Baldwin. He is in second.
I'm telling you, he's the best mid-stakes grinder
For sure,
in
for
Las
sure.
Vegas, and it's really not close. You look at that guy's Hendon mob, and it is just ridiculous how many cashes he has and the results. Just flies under the radar. A true pro's pro.
How much you playing, Jovan?
Started with like 1.9.
Still.
Great shot here, isn't
Yeah.
it? See the background, how full the studio
try
is
this
for
again.
this 4K event. I see Ryan Reese the Beast back there.
You said like 1.9?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to have a little action here. Santiago's are, well, tied for short stack, essentially, being in the big blind. King Jack suited good
On.
enough, and you know how active Chance is. Yeah, easy shove.
Easy fold from Kornuth.
I'm done bluffing.
We doubt that.
That was my last one.
Samuel in the chat.
Promise?
Any vloggers at this event? Well, good question. How about Brad Owen and Johnny Vibes? They played event 1 and event 2. And here's the upcoming schedule. What we got going on today and the rest of the series.
Moving up the stairway to millions, we cap things off with a $100,000 buy-in event. So we're here every single day, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on PokerGO.
I mentioned Vibes and
don't know
Owen.
if I read
We
it,
kicked
but-
off Stairway to Millions with a meetup game
Yeah.
inside the area. 2-5 cash game. Did some giveaways, seat giveaways into event number 1. An absolute blast.
I need to make sure the
Jeff,
people
you and
at
I
home
were
saw mine,
there.
dude.
We donated.
Tremendous turnout. Had about 10, 12 tables filled up inside that poker room.
Hope I had
Folks, if you get a chance next year and you want to play the Stairway to Millions, make sure you keep an eye out for that meetup game. Great way to start the series.
And you can see why those meetup games surrounding those guys are so successful. They do that all across the country. You think anybody would show up at a meetup game for us?
About 6 people, Jeff. My mom and dad, your
Yeah.
mom and dad,
Yeah.
my sister, your sister, and then
And there we go.
Whoever else
So
we
about
pay.
we would get about a table.
Yeah.
Okay.
all in.
All in.
Weinand with King 10 in the big blind here.
Oh my.
He's just
I
gonna fold.
really think that's a call by Weinand with King 10. Maybe not recognizing that she's the short stack. There is certainly something to be said for wanting to be the one to shove all in rather than call it off, but
Sure.
that is a
Have you guys
very
ever
good
seen
spot
30
to
chip
call it
here?
off.
Must have brought this one with me. I've never seen any dirty chips here.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's wild.
129 entries in this
I
event,
feel like it's like the
19 spots
unicorn of
paid.
PokerGO Studio.
And that means those 19 get an entry into the next event in Stairway to Millions, which is the 4K going on right now. In addition to a decent amount of money, as Our final four guaranteed $23,220.
Button moved.
Stairway to Millions, of course, reminiscent of the great song Stairway to Heaven. Jeff, I'm going to ask you this.
Led Zeppelin.
Aha!
So we
you
take a
got
look
me,
at the
yeah.
chip denominations presented
Yeah.
by Thrive. Purple chips worth 25K. The yellow bumblebees worth 100,000 apiece. Took a couple years, but I finally got that one.
Lead singer of Led Zeppelin, Jeff.
Robert Plant.
My goodness, this guy is on fire.
What do we got now? Like 2?
A little over 2.
Awesome. Thanks.
If you have any good trivia questions for us in the chat, let us know. I love to stump Jeff.
Doesn't take much.
All in.
There is
Baldy rips it in the
shove.
small blind with Queen 10. Nothing doing for Santiago. Brent Hammond's in the chat. I'd come to a meetup game with you fellas. There we go. Got one.
Yeah, we got one. So we're up to 7. Akash Dewan says, so we'll see all the Sharks featured on the 20th. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah.
The 100K is going to be laced with sharks swimming in the sea. And who knows, maybe a poker parlay scratch-off winner
All in?
will rise to the top as well.
All in.
Maybe it'll be Joelle Weinand. She rips it with the threes and is going to run right into it. Eric Baldwin has 2 queens on the button.
I keep doing that.
Yeah, happened yesterday too.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
$1 million.
that one's still good.
1.5. 3.
Yep. It's 1.5. Start the clock. He's had enough time.
We really know he's not considering anything other than either just moving it in or simply calling. And there it is, just a call.
Let's make
In
the
hopes that maybe somebody wakes up behind him and tries to shove and he can call it off. Although you're never too thrilled. Here we go, cards on their backs.
and Baldwin in terrific shape to
Don't worry, I had a
eliminate
queen.
Weinand.
Okay. No one had a 3? Let's go.
I didn't have any 3s.
We didn't see any 3s hit the muck. Will we see a 3 on the flop? We will not. It comes ace, king, king, 2 clubs. Weinand does have the 3 of clubs. Turn card. It's the 9 of spades. So she's down to one of the 2 remaining 3s to stay alive in this tournament. River's a 5. That'll do it
Good game. Nice
for
play.
Joelle Weinand. Out in 4, $23,220. Always a treat to have any member of the Weinand fam in the studio.
It certainly is. Great showing, too. Top 4. Very tough field. Now can dive into the 4K and try and spin it up over there. Join her husband in the mix. Maybe head over to Wolfdown for a little lunch
There we
first.
go. Like that idea.
Where do I go?
Thank you.
And we are down to 3 at event number 2. Stairway to Millions. Final 3 guarantee, $28,380. Almost an 8K pay jump from 3rd to 2nd.
5-2 or so.
Yeah, me too.
About the same.
Yeah, we're close.
Look at that. Kornuth and Baldwin started this hand with the exact same amount.
What color should I use? Let's use this one.
Call.
Chance will limp in with 4s.
two have played a lot of poker against one another, both online and live. Two of the hardest workers in the game away from the table as well. They put in a lot of time studying. And how about this move from Baldwin? 10-7 offsuit, attacking the limp of Kornuth. Really has a difficult spot now with two sailboats. By calling, you're just in a very tough spot. Post flop, perhaps the best play is to move it
The
in.
limp
There it
shove
is.
by
Yeah.
Chance Kornuth. At that 35-ish big blind stack, kind of a good hand to do that with. Kornuth up to more than 6 million, about half the chips in play.
Is that him whistling?
I don't think so. Oh,
it is.
It is.
How
I
is he
guess.
doing that? It's like the tongue whistle.
Right.
Move your hand for a sec.
A whistle while you
Yeah,
work.
that's good.
Kornuth doing just that today.
Oh, I was trying to have the touch.
Final three, chat. Who you got? You got Baldy, the legend. You got the novice, the amateur, Santiago, the NFT king. Or how about Chance Kornuth? Who you rooting for? Let us know in the chat.
You guys got a seat open?
Pairs for both here, blind versus blind.
225,000.
I don't suspect that Santiago is going to fold middle pair. Able to just call in position. He's dialing up calling chips.
Does make the call. Deuce on the turn, Santiago still ahead. 900K in the pot.
A tough spot for Baldwin. Certainly Santiago could have some sort of 10x that would have been a straight draw. Otherwise, he's up against a king or a queen. He's going to just check it. And let's see what happens on the turn. I think he gets a lot of check backs from various queens here as well, able to see a free river. I don't know what Santiago's plan is. Probably just that. There it is, knuckle.
Oh, the 7 on the river. Jackson 7s for Baldwin.
Exactly the ticket that Baldwin was looking for on this train. Now we can bet for value. Jack's up. Hope to get called by some sort of queen. Perhaps a king that would have played it this way, and we want to make sure we get called. And he's going to say the heck with that. Let's overbet it.
The overbet shove. And this puts Santiago in a brutal spot with the queens.
Boy, it sure does. Would he do this with a missed draw? Probably. Nothing but a bluff catcher with middle pair of queens. Extremely difficult spot. Even having that queen of spades in his hand, he can eliminate that sort of combination of queen X of spades being there as a flush that would have went back door.
Has no heart in his hand. Certainly tough for the amateur out of Massachusetts. Does make the call. We'll see the bad news. And that'll end Jovan Santiago's day.
Your hand, Jovan.
Oh, yeah, you can show it.
Good game, man.
That's what I figured. Good game.
Good game, buddy. Good luck in the 4K.
Thanks.
It is on to the 4K for Jovan Santiago, out in third for $28,380. Biggest score of his career?
Yeah, well, hell of a score, too, considering how tough this final table has been. Podium finish, Santiago. The dream does continue. The stairway to millions. He's going to hop in that 4K, Jeff, as you said, and see if we can keep it alive, perhaps spin it up to the 8K.
So we can leave?
Great. I'm going to.
And that means it is Chance Kornuth against Eric Baldwin for the title of event number 2 of Stairway to Millions. Both guaranteed $36,120. There's more than 51K up top. While we get set for heads up play, let us take a look at the leaderboard. Bang! Baldy with more than 6.7 million. Brent, we're neck and neck for this title.
Yeah, battle of the Titans, too. Two of the best here in Las Vegas to play tournaments. And I am excited to see who's going to take this one home.
Baldwin versus Kornuth for the title of event number 2. We'll send you off to some highlights first, and we'll be back with Heads Up at Stairway to Millions.
Wait, are you old enough to know about blowing in the cartridge?
Oh, of course.
Really? I wouldn't think you are.
I wouldn't think so. How old are you?
23.
How do you know about that?
My sisters are both older than me.
It's like
we
it's like
had all kinds of
it's like lore now. Everyone knows about it. It's passed down through generations. The
That's
stories.
gonna die in the next 10 years. No one's gonna know about that.
Brock the Brain now, under 10 bigs, the ultimate short stack here. Queen 10 offsuit. I think it's good enough, Jeff. He's gonna pass.
Wow, you teased me,
Wow.
bro.
That is quite a tight fold, I think. It must be right if he's doing
Right,
it. He's got
right.
these spots so well studied.
Pays 225.
Jovan Santiago told us a little bit earlier today before play started he'd rather wrestle an alligator than have to be stared down by Chance Kornuth.
I'd like
We
to
saw
watch
a glimpse of that earlier. The wrestling with the alligator or
Yeah.
the staring down from
I'd
Kornuth?
love to watch a little alligator wrestling. I wouldn't mind that. Be some great coverage.
It's true.
I'm gonna take some notes. Maybe that could be a new show.
Probably more likely to
All in.
All in.
see the stare down from Kornuth. Not here though,
Oh, my
although
goodness.
Kornuth looks down at
This is the
2
odd part.
aces.
And watch him just sell this.
Just in case
Lots of
Santiago
counts.
is
Yeah, keeps it calm, cool, collected.
I think it's 1.9.
1.95.
You would have no
1.9.
idea this man has a couple of
7.5.
aces.
Osmus has run right into it.
About to wrestle with that alligator.
All in.
All in.
Ace, ace.
Yeah.
Cards on their backs, and yes, it is ace-ace for Chance Kornuth.
Good game, Chance.
Maybe. I hope not. I like playing these.
Osmus does have Kornuth covered.
There's another one right there you can play.
That's true.
Let's see if the 3-time bracelet winner can get lucky. And by 3-time, I mean Osmus, because Chance has also won 3.
All
Comes
right.
Queen 10-5. That's a decent start. Looking for another queen or a jack. Does that have a backdoor straight draw? The turn is
my.
an 8. Gut shot now for Osmus, looking for a queen or a jack or a 9 to eliminate Chance Kornuth. And the river is a 7.
750.
Kornuth doubles to, here comes Baldy.
Yeah, here he comes, Jeff. Chance Kornuth already with a big double up, and now Eric Baldwin, two of the best Las Vegas locals to get it done. And that is critical. What is it?
Heads up for the title of event number 2 at Stairway to Millions. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, back to the Aria Resort and Casino, and back to the PokerGO Studio. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks in the broadcast booth. And Brent, it is Chance Kornuth versus Eric Baldwin for the title. How about this matchup?
Yeah, a couple of Titans. Get ready for a very methodical, well thought out battle to take this thing home. These guys are going to do some creative play. I call it creative play syndrome, Jeff. They just can't help it. It's a sickness.
Baldwin with the oh-so-slight chip lead, a little bit more than 6.7 million in chips. Kornuth around 6.2. 75K, 150K with a 150K big blind ante. 30-minute levels in event number 2. And Brent, they're still pretty deep.
Oh, they are. More than 40 big blinds, respectively, between these two. We talk about the studying away from the table. Both of these guys work so hard on their game. Chance really dialed in on the sort of the live tells and feel. Whatever he can pick up off Baldwin over the years, I'm sure he's got notes. Baldwin also noted for his study. He'll take notes at the table and study those as well based on past play.
10 seconds.
1.2.
Well, and if you pick up hands, that helps too. As Kornuth looks down at the ace-king of hearts and makes it 1.2 million. Baldwin has a pretty one.
He does, and already a decision now for Baldwin. Do we proceed post-flop with a hand as good as Queen-9 suited? Heads up, I would suspect that he will come along for the ride.
10 seconds.
Sort of hate raising and then folding a hand this good, and it looks like he will dial it up. There's a call.
So right away, more than 2.5 million chips in this pot. Quite the way to kick off heads up play, and it comes Queen 6-6 with one heart.
Yeah, clean queen living for Baldwin. Beautiful texture. Not at all favorable for Kornuth. Watch those eyes, guys, when he's in hands, what he does. He's got, even his blinks are slow.
10 seconds.
He'll lead small.
500,000.
Baldwin makes the call. And Chance turns the ace.
And a beautiful carrot. What a ticket for Kornuth. It does complete the flush. Chance recognizing, yes, we could be up against the flush. Certainly, we could be up against trips. It's an opportunity to pot control with this card. He is going to check it over to Baldwin. I suspect he does much of the same. There is a world in which you could elect to bet small in hopes to get to showdown on the river whenever you are called. Sort of a blocker bet, but on this street, and he will check back.
River is the blank.
I'd like to see chance value here. Let's target a queen.
Time bank used for an additional 30 seconds to act.
And this would really put Baldwin in a tough spot. There's that stare down that he is so notorious for.
10 seconds.
225.
2.25.
There's that value bet, 2.25 million.
Really is a brutal spot. Think about the hands Chance could be bluffing with. And like King Jack, Jack 10. We saw it earlier on where he had 6-7 offsuit. I mean, the guy's just capable of having nothing but air here. 10-8 off with a spade. It's really endless. Just beautiful stuff by Kornuth. It'll keep Baldwin guessing.
Beautiful stuff by Baldwin too, laying down that
Really
queen.
is. Great fold.
Look at Chance Kornuth's bio board presented by GPI THM. A 3-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Won his third in 2021, winning the 10K short deck event.
Who you guys got in the chat? You got Chance
and tell us why, too. Tell us why you're rooting for Kornuth or why you're rooting for Baldwin. We'll read the best responses on air. Kid K says that was a gross spot against Chance. Exactly, because to your point, you know he's so capable.
Notice the limp here, 8-3 offsuit. And this is worth noting. I try and do it every time.
Yeah.
When you are heads up with the big blind ante in play, do not fold. The price is just too good. There's not a single hand you should be folding on the button.
What about 7 deuce?
You call.
What about 8 deuce?
You call. You can mix in raises from time to time, even with the bad, but rule of thumb, never, ever fold when the big blind ante is in play.
Unless it's like 6 deuce.
Call.
Got it.
Yeah. Now you're with me, Jeff.
Yeah. Flush draw for Baldy here. C-Thrower says rooting for Basebaldy because Wisconsin Whitewater baseball got us through the mid-2000s.
There you
Former
go.
Collegiate baseball player who has given back to that program.
Baldy here with 4 of the puppy paws. Nice little flush draw, 10 high.
Oh.
Getting an okay price. Come along for the ride. As we can see it, it's the best hand. Nobody home. Does he check give up, or does he use this sort of a bluff card? He is going to check it over to Chance, and I can't fathom that Chance waves the white flag with 8-3 offsuit, just 8 high. I suspect he's going to come with another bluff. He is going to give up.
Back.
Wow. Chance going to be kicking
to see
himself.
the 10 high. Yeah.
That is a weird hand. I think Baldwin very fortunate in his mind to win that pot.
Blinds are up 1, 2, and 2.
Father Bother says, I'm rooting for Chance because if I don't pick him, he's going to come to my house and stare at me until I cry. Probably true. 2-time bracelet winner, Eric Baldwin. Won bracelets in 2009 and 2018.
Mountain High says Baldwin because Kornuth has serial killer vibes. So everyone's just afraid of the way he looks at you.
200 to call.
It's quite intimidating. Baldy with Brent Hanks' favorite hand.
Oh, make me proud, Gary. A couple of mallards. He's actually the reason why I call him mallards. In fact, he gave me a road sign that I have at my house that says Mallard Drive. It's a true story.
And why did you call him Gary?
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a nickname I have for him as well. Gary the Goose.
Call him Gary the Goose. Where'd that come from?
Well, again, Jeff, we're going to get into these stories that aren't going to be relevant for the entire chat nor this
Sounds
broadcast.
pretty relevant if you're referring to him
Gary
as Gary.
the Goose Baldwin. I've known Eric for, oh gosh, 10 plus years. One of my closer friends here in Las Vegas.
That's 200,000.
And that's going to get a fold every time. Kornuth Smiles, throws it in the muck.
125 is good. I would have folded.
Ducks get it done. 100K, 200K, 200K big blind ante. About 65 bigs on the table.
From Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. That is where Eric Baldwin is from. I've actually been there. Quaint little town. You ever
Sounds
been to
quaint.
Wisconsin, Jeff?
I have.
Have you really?
I have.
What were you doing there?
Used to go to a summer camp in Wisconsin.
Excuse me?
Yeah, no, it's accurate.
You went to summer camp.
In Wisconsin, yes. Lake Nebagaman.
What?
It's called, the place was called Lake Nebagaman.
Lake Nebagaman.
Yeah.
It's summer camp.
Yeah, you haven't heard of Camp Nebagaman?
I can't say that I have.
Great times.
I bet. What'd you learn how to do at camp?
Oh, canoed, kayaked.
Oh, very active guy.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
back in your
hiking.
outdoors days. Is
Yeah,
that why
no,
you hate
that's why-
national
and then
parks
I
now?
retired. I don't hate national parks. I just don't really have the desire to go.
Must have had a bad experience at Lake
No, it was great. Just I
Nebagaman.
kind of got all the outdoorsy stuff out of the way. And I'm good.
Just took care of it, huh?
King 10-9, one club.
I've got more questions about camp when this hand ends. I'd love to know if the chat has any questions about camp. Any questions for Jeff Platt here on his experiences at summer camp in Wisconsin?
That'll really draw the engagement.
Well, I think it will. You're going to be surprised. There's going to be a lot of question marks here. Was it like a band camp?
No, it's not a band camp.
Did you play any instruments while you were there?
No. Wasn't music.
Not even
related.
a kazoo?
No, never played a kazoo.
Any
You know,
kumbaya
come to think
around
of
the
it-
fire?
Come to think of it, I did host like this sports trivia show, and it was probably my first broadcast-like adventure.
Excuse
Just
me?
12 or 13-year-old me hosting a sports trivia show.
Called The Big Blind?
no, no. You can catch the Big Blind on PokerGO. Every single episode available to you.
Well, I hate to give you the bad news, but it's no longer there.
What?
No, it's still there for now.
Phew. What do you mean for now?
Well,
Can't just stay? It doesn't take up any room.
well,
450 total.
Is season 2 on the way, or
yeah.
still negotiating?
Yeah, there's a lot of, ins, outs, details, minor details. Got to get them sorted. Good question from Deborah. What age were you when you attended this summer camp?
I'd say I went for a good 4 years in a row, so probably 10 to 13
10 to 13.
ish.
Yeah.
Maybe a little older. What kind of swimmer were you? Not a good one.
10 seconds.
Could you touch the bottom of the lake? Why would you want to try to go to the bottom?
Well, it's a fine question. I mean,
Right?
when you swim, do you ever dive down to the bottom?
No, because there's no reason to.
All right. Brent wants to know, Brent Hammond's in the chat, did you get your first kiss at band camp?
No. I mean, it was an all boys camp. Not that there's anything, wrong with that, but no, I didn't kiss anybody at camp.
BC wants to know if you can water ski, Jeff.
No.
What did you do there? Sounds like you didn't do anything.
What do you mean?
other-
I just told you about canoeing
did
and kayaking
So
and
you just
hiking,
went there and you went canoeing and
swimming.
kayaking?
archery,
swimming.
riflery.
Oh, rifle. You're shooting guns.
Yeah, firing off.
At 10 to 13 years old?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very safe.
Doesn't sound safe.
Baldy with the ace-3 suited.
All in.
All in.
And the pile
Just
driver.
rips it.
Yeah, Kornuth, you know, he took the chip lead momentarily, and all of a sudden, it's been the Baldwin show since that first hand. Any fishing at camp, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, you did some fishing.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, there's some fishing.
What were you catching there at Lake Toboggan?
Lake Toboggan. Don't remember. Small fish. You go to summer camp at all?
I did basketball camp. I don't
Okay,
know if
okay,
you
yeah,
ever
did
heard
those
of,
too,
I know
yeah.
you haven't heard of sports, but
Right.
it's a, yeah, I did, you know, some summer camps like that. I was a free throw champion once, St. Bonaventure basketball camp. Big
You're-
free throws guy.
You're not going to believe me, but so was I.
Is that
With
right?
free throws, yeah.
We have so much in common.
I don't really think we do, but that is something that we have. Were you in like shooting competitions, like where you moved up kind of through
Oh, yeah.
local
Great
and
shooter.
state ranks? Yeah.
Yeah. About all I could do. Another example of this hand, Baldwin limping the button with Queen-8 suited, which from time to time he would, of course, raise. And here, take a look at how good he is right now in this spot. Limps and can call with the best hand. Queen-8 dominating the 9-8 of Kornuth. Now, Kornuth, of course, he's going to be bluffing. He's going to try and represent a much stronger holding than what he has.
Ace King 10, 1 diamond.
And because Kornuth raised out of the big blind, sized it up, he is going to rep this. He says, this texture is all mine. Suggesting he has some sort of ace or king Broadway holding. No pair, no draw for Kornuth. Baldwin, on the other hand, does have the queen high, the gut shot straight, the backdoor diamonds, and getting a tremendous price to peel. Now more than $2 million in the pot after making this call.
4 spades on the turn. Almost 2.3 million in this pot.
Yeah, Kornuth asking himself, you know, does Baldwin have a lot of aces here? Probably not. Can he? Yes. If it's a king, a 10, or even some sort of hand like he's holding, the Queen-8 of diamonds, would 2 barrels work often enough? The frequency. And here it comes. He's going to take another street, one more barrel, sizes it up, 1.1 million, and this is beautiful stuff. Nothing but 9 high, like a boss.
No surprise, but that's pretty spectacular from Chance Kornuth.
Really is. That's top shelf by Kornuth.
Just is relentless.
Yeah. Just understood exactly what sort of range he was up against, what he was targeting, and why. That one, folks, if you're tuning in, rewind, take a screenshot, study it, understand what was happening there.
Anybody's ball game here. Similar stack sizes, Baldy the slight chip lead.
Ace 500,000.
Notice he's mixing in the raises too. 4-3 offsuit now on the button. Staying so balanced. He'll limp with the bad, he'll raise with the bad, and of course he'll do the same thing with his good hands.
All in.
All in.
Wow, with the king deuce, Baldy, Rip City.
Yeah.
That's an Ali Shirovich-like move right
there.
there.
It is, and again, that's the sort of thing too where from time to time, king deuce offsuit, not great post flop, but it's going to win quite a bit pre-flop whenever you do move it in for 30 big blinds effectively. If you study the GTO, game theory, optimal approach, that would certainly be one of your defense mechanisms. You're going to learn a lot watching these two guys. I know I certainly am here in the booth. These are two of the best.
Ace deuce suited for Baldwin here.
This time he does limp with an ace holding, so you notice the balance, right?
Right. Could perhaps be with the intent of limp shoving.
It could be.
Like this.
Yeah, it very well could be. Chance with the suited king. He's going to come with another raise.
Ace 650 total.
Well, let's find out, Jeff. You could be spot on here.
All in. All in.
And he does shove.
You nailed that one, buddy. Chance also, I mean, yeah, he's going to reluctantly fold, but the power of king 6 high, suited king, if he were a little shorter, could call it off. Bit of a clinic from Baldwin this stretch.
Ale in the chat, first-time visitor here from France. Welcome. Is there a special reason the artworks are behind the players? I don't think we want to get into the artwork discussion
We covered
again,
the artwork earlier.
Had some not-so-kind words about those pieces, which I think are lovely. The green's intense. Baldwin with 7s now.
What did you mutter about the green?
It's intense. I like intense paintings.
Do you see like band camp in that painting? Does it bring you back?
Never went to band camp. Nothing against it, just never went myself.
Little hockey camp here for Baldwin. 2 7s. He's going to kick it up, and I guarantee if Kornuth found some sort of maniacal all-in, we'd be getting snapped. Another pot in the direction of Eric Baldwin, who now has close to 65% of the chips in play, up to 8.5 million.
And you start to understand why he's been so successful, right? Because it's clear to you that he's studying and studying and studying. And while that does indeed, I'm sure, give you the smallest of edges in these high roller fields, in the 1K fields, 2K fields, 5K fields, he can just be an absolute crusher.
You're exactly right. And I'll tell you what, if he were to play a lot of the high rollers that we do, you know, with the PokerGO Tour, the 50Ks, the 100Ks, he would fare quite well.
I think so too.
He's a tremendous player, and I'm not biased at all in that regard. I just know how good he is, how he sees the game, approaches the game. But for him, the ROI is not there. He makes enough money playing smaller stakes. He's got 100% of himself. You know, it's if he had the opportunity to play the high rollers, I guarantee he would win money.
And you would think a guy as successful as Baldwin is when he does play the 400s, the 600s, the 1Ks, he just wouldn't really be paying attention. Man, he is locked in. The only time he's on his phone is to take notes, like you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. And how about this, Jeff?
Opponents.
The 2 case 10s hit the flop. These guys have the same hand, thinking Yahtzee. It's going to be game over.
Yep.
Baldwin thinks he's got him. We all know how this is going to end. I guess there is a world in which Kornuth could go running hearts in dramatic fashion. You can see the 5% mark next to his name.
That will not happen.
just thinks he's setting an elaborate trap. Both players do. They check the flop. There comes the fireworks. We all know this will end in a chop, but as far as the psychology of this hand and the frustration, I think it'll be Chance that's a little bit more tilted, thinking he's finally got an opportunity to chip up and win a nice pot off of Baldwin.
So check raises to 1.2 million. Baldwin just calls. Tens full for both.
Yeah, and Kornuth now again thinking, well, he probably has an 8. He can certainly have those. I can value shove, high five, here we go. I've got the chip lead, and then, oh, man. Baldy, meanwhile, he's thinking, oh, yeah, do it, punt it off. I got it, tens full. Let's go, it's over.
Almost all of it.
And Baldwin knows he's for sure calling. He might just say, oh,
is that binding action?
$2.9 million.
So it's a bet, official bet. I'm all in.
All in. Call.
That's it.
Baldwin questioning too. It's legitimate, you know, wondering if that's binding action. He didn't slide it all the way forward just in case.
Very exciting.
Very exciting indeed. So Brent, what do they say about chop pots again?
Well, I say everybody hates a chop pot, but I know others think differently. I don't know what they say about this promo, Jeff.
They say that a new season of high-stakes poker returns to PokerGO, and bricks of cash are back on the table. Subscribe now so you don't miss an episode. Use code HSP Stairway to get $20 off a new annual subscription. One more time, Brent, that code is HSP Stairway.
That's right, Jeff. Yes, which stands for High Stakes Poker, the HSP.
Stairway.
You know what you mentioned there that I jumped out of my chair. Bricks of cash are back. And
back
that is
on the
confirmed.
table?
We got cash in play
I
on
love
the table.
that.
Wait till you see this new season of High Stakes Poker. The only place you can watch is on PokerGO. Make sure you subscribe now using that code HSP Stairway.
Jacob in the chat watching the stream at work, trying to make it to 5 p.m. We love having you here, Jacob. Thanks for watching. Unknown Prodigy, can someone explain how Chance Kornuth is doing? I thought he got knocked out round 1. Chance did cash in event number 1, which is the 1K. These are all separate tournaments, though. So a cash in a tournament does give you a seat into the next event, but every event is still separate.
Then also, Jeff, in case he was talking about this specific event, yes, he may have gone broke, but you could also re-enter and buy in again.
Up to 2 re-entries, so up to 3 bullets total in each of these, except the 100K at the end, and that 100K is a freeze out.
Like Mike brought up an interesting point that since it's hilarious, Baldwin asked if it was binding because of his move in the main event. I do remember Kornuth had some sort of controversial motion with his chips. I think that looked like he was trying to move it in or
maybe
bet.
Slightly move the chips forward to get a reaction from somebody, as we see Brock Wilson has jumped into event number 3.
Great shot of the studio. All these players in here firing.
Event number 3 filling up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'll give you a live update on that momentarily. Let me hit the refresh. And, of course, you guys want to track the action yourselves at home, head on over to PGT.com.
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 Oh, that's easy.
The PokerGO Tour. And you'll see our live reporting page there listed towards the top. Doing a great job. Brandon Bloom, Tim Duckworth, Keegan. Up to 60 entries in event number 3, the 4K. Current chip leader is, how about this, ready?
Yeah.
Daniel Weinand,
Oh, okay.
Joelle's husband.
Okay.
He is up top on the leaderboard. Joseph Chong is in the top 10. Chris Moorman is in the top 10. And we'll bring you that final table tomorrow right here on this YouTube channel.
Vic Chagall in the mix. We've seen him more and more over this last year or so. He finished in 8th in this very event. Kristen Nyman finished in 19th. She's got a top 5 stack.
400.
Baldy gets it done with the 3 deuce.
Do we get cocktails up here at all?
Absolutely.
I would love something.
Cocktail service up here. On the way.
Thank you.
Baldwin has won 7 of the last 10 pots. Chance won 2, and there was 1 chop in between. Momentum in favor of Baldwin, who of course is the chip leader. 65% of the chips in play, but it is anybody's ball game.
So we'll get you up close to the action here. Kornuth versus Baldwin for the title for more than $51,000. About a 15K difference, second to first.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Veason wants to know what kind of cocktails y'all drinking. Well, we'll hear what Chance is going to order.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. What do you guys do in the chat when you're sitting around live poker table? If it's cocktail hour, what are you ordering? I know my man Jeff Platt over here. What's your go-to?
Well, during a broadcast, it of course is a nerd focus, which
Right.
we have with
I'm
us in
pounding a
studio
nerd
right
focus.
now.
Yeah.
You've had about 12 of them today.
Now, if you're a player, Jeff,
Yeah.
and you're out there at the table having fun,
think-
you're not competitive. You know, you're not playing too competitively.
I think I'm going to go with some tequila or perhaps a glass of wine.
A little glass of vino.
Yeah.
I'm going to have myself a cold beer chat.
Yes,
Let
you
us
are.
know, what are you diving into when you play ball?
Let's see what we have coming up on the PokerGO Tour in 2022. The last 4 events of Stairway to Millions will count for the tour. Then we're off to Florida for a high roller. First week of February, it's the PokerGO Cup. Some Aria high rollers in February as well. In March, Brent, what do you say? We head to Russia.
I'm in.
For Triton, for
Yeah.
Super High Roller Series, for Super High Roller Bull Rush, and then at the end of March, we're back in the States for the U.S. Poker Open.
I need to get that passport updated, I think. I don't know if they're
Probably so. And to
probably
Russia, yeah,
not going to let me out of the country. Now, will Leon fly me in on his helicopter right into the...
That's Razvedov. This is Russia.
Oh, we're not going to the same
different
place?
places.
Yeah, but do you still think Leon would take care of me?
Maybe, yeah, maybe
It's the
he
same
would.
continent,
Maybe
right?
he would, yeah.
Are they both
Well,
in Asia?
No. Leon's is in Europe.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's in Czech Republic.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Well, the more
yeah.
you know.
Oh, we've got a lot of options here
Malachi
in the YouTube
Hag,
chat.
yeah, I'm seeing a root beer float. Boy, I haven't had a good old root beer float in a long time.
See, vodka Red Bull, Jameson and Coke, gin and tonic.
Jameson and ginger from Dig
Okay.
Dug Kim. I don't think I've ever had that.
I like this from White Smoke. I need to drink a coffee to watch the Celtics. Celtics have been a little boring this year. I get it.
Is that right?
Yeah, not been spectacular. An old-fashioned. All right, all right.
Louis Martinez says, classy people in this chat. I'm going to make some notes of these drinks. I was thinking the same thing. I thought I'd see like Coors Light, Bud Light, you know. No free ads, of course.
Right, of course. Well, I don't think that was an amazing ad for those two beers anyway.
Fair point.
I don't think they would have paid us for ads like that.
They might have, though, Jeff. You never
Sure.
know these days. Very different kind of brand advertising. White Russian from the dude, Kid Rick 420. I'm with you there. Anything Big Lebowski inspired? I'll
Oh,
take
absolutely.
You
Volley
ever been-
called there with Jack High, by the way. Kornuth's ace high was best.
Oh, yes, please. Green tea, lemon, and a little honey. Honey.
Well, I was busy looking
you
at the
very much.
chat. I
You
didn't
want
think
anything?
we'd see much action in that hand.
No,
We'll
I'm
have to redo that one.
We do that one in
All right,
post.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Wasn't a big pot. Like it went check, check, flop, check, check, turn, but Kornuth getting some value from ace high. It's kind of sick. And limps in with the 10-8 of clubs. Baldwin, a couple fours.
I'd imagine Baldwin just grips and rips here. Four is difficult to play post. Chance has 26 big blinds to start the hand. Don't give him the opportunity to limp jam over top of you.
All in.
There it is.
You heard tournament director Paul Campbell. He says raise the blinds, 125K, 250K.
125 and 250.
250,000 big blind ante. So about 50 bigs here on the table.
You'd think it's going to go quickly, but the way these guys play, damn near perfection. You never know. Even if you get down below 10 big blinds, it's easy to spin, grin, and win.
250 to call.
Mark Fromm says, did they make a deal? I highly doubt it.
I wouldn't think so.
Deborah says a sunset martini. That's nice. I've never had that. Jeff, it sounds like it's up your alley.
I've not had one, but it sounds wonderful.
Call. It's 850 total.
Yeah, back and forth we go. Kornuth picks up a small pot. White Smoke hiding a pot away from an even game. Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely.
It's not going to take much.
About a 3-2 edge for Baldwin, who is looking for his 35th career title.
Guy just wins nonstop.
34 and 14 heads up, which is quite impressive.
He's very good.
Kornuth 17 and 14.
I'll never forgive Baldwin for giving me a very terrible, no good, very bad beat at a World Series of Poker final table. Sitting side by side as very good friends. My
What
pocket
year was
eights
this?
versus his fours, and he flopped a 4. 2015-ish,
Okay.
maybe, yeah. Very upset with him. He went on to, I believe, win the event against Matt Waxman, or maybe Matt Waxman won it and he got runner-up. I don't know.
They were a World Series event, yeah.
It was a
he
World
beat-
Series. I think he finished runner-up to Matt Waxman.
And you went on to.
Well, he busted me that hand. But
Right, no, I'm just talking about just in life. You went on to.
I'm sitting right here. No, I have no.
Just sit here with me in the booth.
Maybe one more final table after that. I've had 6 in my career, Jeff. I just want the record to be stated.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
Was that your last tournament cash?
Almost as impressive as this 6 I bet by Chance Kornuth. No, it was not, Jeff, although I don't play as often as I used to. But when I do play ball at the World Series, I get it done. I still consider myself to be elite. No one else does, but
yeah,
that's all that matters.
Oh, confidence.
Very confident.
Yep. We're not lacking in confidence. Storm X. Storm X is PokerGo's exclusive cryptocurrency partner. Happy to have Storm X on board this year.
Very nice, Jeff.
Thank you.
BC. Hanks, do you like Buffalo Gold? I don't know what that is.
The slot.
Oh, it's a slot.
Just another version
then
of
the
the
answer is
Buffalo
yes.
slot.
No gamble, no future. A lot like what Chance Kornuth is doing right now with 5 deuce suited. Shoot it up.
Raise with some good, raise with some bad. Makes it 850K. Bottom, let's go of the king deuce. Venkata says a jack with Red Bull. That's interesting combination. PokerGo Shop promo, Brent. Give it to me. Okay, the PokerGo Shop is full of items that every poker enthusiast will love. Take your game to the next level with the best poker merchandise and apparel. Check out the collection at shop.pokergo.com. Can we get some no gamble, no future swag into the little picture?
Well, listen, Jeff, I mean, I didn't make the ads, but I can certainly complain to whoever did. A lot of new items coming to our shop very shortly. We'll be updating it. Get it now while it's hot. The items that last, that remain. You had on a nice little no gamble, no future hoodie yesterday.
Yeah,
I did notice.
Love that swag.
Yeah.
I have to pay full price, which, I mean, I guess is fine.
Well, we actually charged you 2x.
Well, I guess we should have trademarked that no gamble, no future idea.
Big mistake on our end, buddy.
Baldwin bumps it up with the 9-3 suited.
The suits always get the best of us.
All in.
How about that? The limp shove with the Jack 4 suited.
My goodness.
By Chance Kornuth. And with that, he is now our chip leader.
For just the second time since heads-up play began.
Checking out that leaderboard presented by Storm X. Chance about 7.2, Baldy about 5.6. Santiago, Weinand, Wilson, Osmus rounded out our final table today.
I'm just going to say it, these guys are awesome.
10 seconds.
The creativity, which we knew was going to happen.
First one's pretty good.
Sit with the ace-6.
The second one a little slower.
So he looked at the...
Yeah, we can guess which
no.
one he looked at first. Normally don't do shout-outs, Brent, but in the YouTube chat, D-Rez says, can you shout out my daughter, Kat? Trying to get your daughter into poker?
Absolutely.
We'll do a shout-out for that one. What's up, Kat? Thank you
Shout out
very much for joining us.
to Kat.
Andrew
Shuffle
says,
up and deal, huh? Get Kat in the game.
Yeah, let's go. Andrew says, let's get fired up, boys. Come on. All right, Andrew.
Oh, I'm fired up.
Let's go, baby. 4-4, how much does the winner take home? Good question. A little bit more than $51,000.
And, of course, a seat into the next event. That 4K buy-in has already been included. Everybody that cashed this event is have won their seat, already playing, except for these two.
Baldy with 8s.
Yeah, Jeff, I was wondering. He's not going to shove here with 2 8s. The hand is too good. He's hoping that Kornuth is limp jamming from the button. And 8s is certainly going to snap it off. And if that were the case, Baldwin would be in great shape for a massive double up. We know Kornuth loves to fight. He's got the sort of hand that fixes a flat tire. Jack 4 suited. Going to make the call instead. Says it's good enough. Let's see 3.
We're going to play a pretty big pot here, it looks like. Almost 2 million in the middle. 10, 9, 7, 1 club. Backdoor flush draw. Gutter for Kornuth. Baldwin's 8s are best, also as an open ender.
Interesting texture. Chance having a jack in his hand with those clubs that you mentioned, Jeff. And Baldwin open-ended. Will we see further blood on later streets? Here we go, incoming.
That's 750.
What does Dr. Kornuth have in store? Is he looking to get surgical with just jack high?
10 seconds.
He thought about it, though. He
Certainly
certainly
did,
thought about
yeah.
it.
Brutal.
Nice
It's the
pickup
same hand I limp shoved on you.
for Baldy. $129 entries, 19 spots paid. In addition to prize money, awarded a seat into event number 3, the 4K, which is going on right now here at the PokerGO Studio. We'll have that final table coverage tomorrow.
Appreciate the shout outs there in chat. Colm, Makumsky. Jeff and I love doing commentary for you guys. We'll be doing the rest of the series, as well as many more events on the PokerGO Tour for the remainder of 2022, unless we get fired.
Which is very possible. And also this from Eric in the chat, dealing with some dialysis treatment, and thanks us for helping him get through it. You're very welcome.
Love to hear that, Eric. Take care of yourself.
Glad we can help you in any way whatsoever.
Veason says he hopes that this gets to 500,000, a million blinds. I don't think that's going to happen. That would.
Well, we better camp out here if it does.
Yeah, just like your band camp in Wisconsin.
It's not a band
Did you
camp.
sleep in tents at the camp, by the way, or
No,
cabins?
cabins.
You did
Yeah,
the cabin
cabins.
life?
No,
Yeah.
you took a hiking trip and broke the tents out. I always tried to avoid the tent setup. They're like, who's going to set up the tent? Just kind of fade to the back on that one.
You know, they're not easy. They're not fun setting up tents. They make pop-up tents now, Jeff. I think you would enjoy those.
Oh, nice.
Very simple, very durable. I fancy myself to be a camper.
I could see that.
I really do love it. We've seen this sort of situation before in this exact holding, King Deuce offsuit. Doesn't play that great post. I wouldn't be surprised if Baldwin just moves it all in, considering Kornuth's stack size. 20 big blinds, Baldwin 30. There it is. King deuce is good enough. You're not facing any action other than a limp. If he's trapping, well, so be it. Let's hope your king is live.
About 50 bigs on the table. Baldwin about a 3-2 chip lead.
Kornuth taking his time with just 7-5 off. He will knuckle. Veason says, Brent, head out to Red Rock Canyon right by Vegas if you want a great hike. I actually don't live too far from there. I've been there quite a few times. It is stunning. It is beautiful. A lot of snow up there right now. And you're right. Absolutely beautiful. It's hard to believe that you've got that much snow right outside of Las Vegas as we speak.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been. Flush draw for Baldwin.
You've never been anywhere that involves the outdoors since your 10 to 13-year-old days.
I'll go on a beach.
Camp.
That's outdoors.
Toboggan, Wisconsin.
Out by the pool. That's outdoors.
Right. I've asked you many times to join me for a nice walk.
Yes, you have.
I've
I've declined many times.
Never once have you taken me up on it. Be good for you to get out there, soak in a little vitamin D, you know, get that brisk cold air.
No, not a fan of
Get
cold
yourself
air.
a pair of walking shoes other than those white loafers you wear every single day. Those would get very dirty.
Probably wouldn't wear these on the hike.
No, I wouldn't recommend it. They're nice shoes, very nice.
Thank you.
Pure white.
A little dirty.
They look like bowling shoes.
One of the bowling shoes have a little red or brown around there.
I've got a Sharpie. I could probably
I'm good, thank you.
do a little artwork. Turn those shoes into an NFT. Is that how they do it?
Not how NFTs work.
Well, that's your opinion.
That's true, which is pretty worthless considering I didn't know what fungible meant. Baldwin makes the call. Deuce of hearts on the river.
Well, it is a pair for Baldwin. If he was a non-believer on the turn and thought he had any pair equity whatsoever, it is all of a sudden an okay bluff catcher. We do beat hands like 7-5, 9-7, 9-10, Jack 10. All hands with equity that would have missed, and chance likely would have barreled again on the river.
So he reaches and fires.
1.1 million.
No, it's 1050.
I'm sorry, 105.
Pretty quick call with the deuce by Eric Baldwin.
That's cute.
And Baldwin now takes the biggest chip lead thus far, just shy of 10 million chips, 76% of the chips in play to be exact. Kornuth down just over 10 big blinds, 3.1 remaining.
Reaction by Kornuth as he sees the deuce. If you're checking us out on YouTube, please click that like button. It's just the thumbs up button, or the thumbs up symbol. You click that, and then click subscribe. Why not? Doesn't cost you anything.
All in.
All in.
Kornuth rips it with queen 3.
3.1.
Yeah,
Queen
queen
9.
high, good enough given the stack sizes. Remember that big blind ante is oh so important. Puts all that much more money into the middle. You can see he's chipped up now to 3.6 million, adds 500,000 to his stack. You're going to see some wide shoves with hands you might not think are so great. Eric Baldwin is aware of that. He will also be calling wider. If he had a hand like King Deuce, King 3, he likely would have made that call.
Brent, look at this. Ducks on the pond, as you would say.
Oh yeah, quack, quack. Let's do a little mallard hunting, shall we? Very fitting. A number of times he and I have joked about this hand.
All in.
All in.
Queen 8 is close for Kornuth. You can see him giving this thing some thought.
One behind.
10 seconds.
Lays it down.
I have to imagine you talk to Chance Kornuth. He's sort of a master on live tells, live reads. I bet he would tell you that Eric Baldwin is one of the more difficult opponents that he's faced as far as giving off any information. And I'm not saying that just from the usage of the mask that Baldwin is wearing here, but even without it, he gives off nothing. I mean zilch, zero. The posture, everything stays the same. And a premium now. See if he sets the trap, Jeff. There it is.
Yeah,
Going to just limp in and hopes that Baldwin wakes up with a hand good enough to shove pre. Ooh, could it be?
It's the 8-7 suited. A qualifier.
All in.
Yes, it is, and here we go.
Good luck.
You too.
Chance Kornuth all in and at risk. Got a 60-40 favorite with ace-king against the 8-7 of diamonds. Eric Baldwin. Kornuth wins this. We're back to even.
Trying to get back to even, Ryan. Trying to get back to even.
Good start.
That's going to be a tough one to overcome. Needs to go running diamonds. I don't even think Baldwin's looked at the board.
3-3 against a backdoor flush draw.
Doesn't even know what's out there yet.
He's going to see right now that he is dead.
Very interesting. Wonder what he's doing walking around, perhaps taking notes on Chance limping that sort of hand. He is a notes guy.
3.1.
3.1.
Yep.
3.1.
Even triple checked it.
He doesn't need to watch to understand it makes a difference in the results, although I don't have it in me. I have to sweat everything nervously.
Thank you.
Look at that, Brent, top of your screen. Kornuth, 6,450,000. Baldwin, 6,450,000.
Remarkable.
We are all square.
Exactly 25 big blinds effective. I would say it's been a very fair fight thus far. Now it's Baldwin's turn with a premium ace-king. Let's see if he tries the same trap. It is a little bit different now, both players having the exact same stack size. Looks to me like traditional rage is incoming.
Ace 575 total.
Makes it 575. Kornuth, the 5 deuce of clubs. We'll make the call.
Yeah, a hand this pretty, getting an all right price. Let's just go ahead and take a flop. No reason to get carried away.
King, king, deuce. Baldwin Baldwin flops trips. Kornuth with a deuce.
Yeah, certainly problematic for Kornuth, as we can see. Gonna need the running mallards in order to win this pot.
400,000.
So hard to get away from two pair. Facing a down bet now. But have to imagine he's guaranteed, Baldwin that is, to win a little bit more money. Kornuth says, you know what, let's check raise.
Here's 1 million total.
Just hoping to shut it down right now.
Makes it 1 million. Music to Baldy's ears.
Well, let's trap those ducks.
Kornuth locked in on Baldwin at the moment.
And there is a bit of a leveling game here. If Baldwin decides to click it back, could open up the action again. He will go with the trap.
1 million.
Sorry.
Six on the turn.
Kornuth has stepped right into it here. I don't fault him with the check raise. It's a very difficult hand to improve upon on later streets. He was hoping to win it on the flop. Perhaps now recognizing that he is in dire straits.
$800.
800,000.
Betting 800K. Which does set up a river shove pretty beautifully if Kornuth did make the call here.
Kornuth fully aware of that as well. He knows he's in a horrific spot, one of which you always want to avoid.
10 seconds.
Perhaps the biggest decision of his tournament life thus far. Making the right one here.
Check call.
And a non-believer drawing stone dead is Chance Kornuth.
5 million in this pot. Kornuth with 3.8 behind. River is a 7.
Check.
And we
Quick
know
check
it's
from
coming.
Kornuth.
If he calls turn, this river obviously doesn't change anything. Perhaps he was hoping that Baldwin would just shut down all of his bluffs on the river when called. If that is his line of thinking, then maybe it is an easy fold. But I think we're in for a lengthy decision, because here comes all of it.
10 seconds. All in.
There's the shove.
Account, please.
Baldwin knows right now, if he calls, it's over. Almost looked like he was trying to look as nervous as possible, moving those chips in. I was watching his head sort of wiggle a little bit. His jawline was moving below that mask. He's still trying to perhaps represent the same thing. Chance trying to pick up a read.
Thank you.
We know how much he studies his opponents, live tells and actions. Maybe Baldwin's trying to throw him off here with a powerhouse.
Kornuth check raise flop, check call turn, facing the shove on the river.
1 second.
Time bank used for an additional 30 seconds to act.
Baldwin
He could run through a couple of them here.
He might. Could he play a flush draw like this? Yeah, it's possible. Like bet flop, he would just call. Bet turn for whenever he would trying to set up a river shove whenever he'd miss a diamond. We beat those hands.
And with no diamond in Kornuth's hand.
A hand like 3-4 of diamonds makes a lot of sense.
Fires in another time bank.
Chance is perplexed. We know about the certain hands we beat, but what can he pick up off of Eric Baldwin physically?
Fold.
Fold.
Chance stays alive by laying down the deuce.
Good hand.
Nice.
We'll be curious to watch that one back.
He certainly will, and I think he'll be clearly thrilled to see that he
Yeah.
made the correct decision.
Look forward to seeing that one.
There you have it. And Baldwin now with a near 3-1 chip lead. He's up to just shy of 9.1 million. Kornuth down to 3.8 and 15 big blinds.
So look at the payouts presented by StormX. Final two guaranteed $36,120. A little bit more than a 15K difference between first and second. Of course, with cashing this tournament, both players, along with the 17 others who cashed, gained an entry to event number 3 of Stairway to Millions, a $4,000 buy-in. They will jump in when they're done here. Brent, you must be right with your never fold spiel.
Yeah, it's just true. Even no matter how short you are, down to 15 bigs, you can't fold. The price is always right to call. Always.
10 seconds. All in. All in.
I don't know if Phil Hellmuth would agree with that as far as the math
no
and the theory behind it.
No chance.
You know, I've seen him play over and over again a high-stakes duel that uses the big blind ante, and he folds a lot. It's just not theoretically correct. And that's okay, because he's the GOAT, and we'll allow it. But you will have plenty of top professionals telling you how big of a mistake it is.
Hellmuth versus Dwan, high stakes duel 3, round 3, 200K each on January 26th on PokerGo.
How about that? A $400,000 match. The last time they met, Tom Dwan beat Phil Hellmuth, handing him his first loss in all of the high stakes duels.
Hellmuth 7-1 in high stakes duel matches. 150K, 300K with a 300K big blind ante, and Kornuth with 2 7s.
Know where this is going. Good question from an unknown prodigy in the chat. Has anyone stairwayed up from the first round to the third for only 1K? Jeff, I believe the answer is
7.
7
Kornuth
total players.
Being one of those 7.
There you go.
To cash in the 1K to get to the 2K, and to cash in the 2K to get to the 4K. It's a little busy at the moment before we can jump into event number 3. Jovan Santiago, our third place finisher. Also cashing in both. Long Louis, Jake Perry, Steven Song, Medya Nushar, Ching Liu. The rest who have cashed in every event. On that stairway to millions.
All in.
All in.
Kornuth just rips it with the
I
Jack
think
8.
this is a call
How
with
much is it?
King 8. This could be it right here.
Just a touch under 13 bigs that
3, 8,
Kornuth
7,
started
5.
the hand with. You could, yeah, you could hear him whisper
talking
the
to
same.
himself. It's like borderline too with this 12 to 13 bigs. There
He
it
does
is.
make
There's
the call. Here we go.
King 8 was the exact thing that crossed my mind there.
Eric Baldwin in a great spot to win this tournament. He just needs his King 8 to hold against Jack 8. Baldwin on his feet.
Jack 8 versus King 8.
Opportunity in
Gonna
the
need a little
studio
help.
to find victory number 1 for
My
Baldwin.
diamond's live though.
Chance said he's going to need a little help. Oh
Very
boy,
live.
finds some help on the flop as it comes 10-9-3, all diamonds, and now you see that Kornuth is the favorite with the flush draw and the open ender.
About the biggest flop he could have imagined. All of a sudden, a
I need a Jack,
relatively
7,
large
queen, or
favorite.
diamond.
You heard him, Jack 7, queen or diamond. Is it there on the turn? It is not.
Another red ace.
Baldwin becomes the favorite once again. Kornuth with 18 outs. You see them on the top of your screen. River card.
Jack.
It is the Jack, and Kornuth doubles up.
What was it? 3-8?
3, 8, 7,
It
5.
is good to be lucky, and you're allowed to do that in this game, Jeff. Kornuth now takes over the chip lead. Just like that, how the pendulum swings.
Sending me back to the 10 stacks.
There's a special place in my heart for 10 stacks.
Wow.
Kornuth gets there,
Thank you, I suck.
and now he's the one with about a 60-40 chip lead.
You keep those.
And if you like a bad beat in poker, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, would you? We're at 455. Take us to level 500 as this heads-up battle continues.
And if you're pained by bad beats, still click the thumbs up.
Four.
5.7 sound right? You got like almost 7?
Well, no, I should have.
Right around.
Yeah, almost 7. Yeah, probably 7.
Well, I think
No, I'm
we're-
over 7. 6, 7, 4.
There we go.
Yeah. I think you might have 4.7. You might want to double check your stack before you make a decision, buddy. No, he didn't. That can't be right.
I mean, I'm calling.
He doesn't-
I
he
don't know
doesn't
if I
know
need.
time chip.
I don't know if I owe one or not.
No. I fucked with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4.7 behind, right?
That's correct.
$1 million total.
And it is Kornuth's turn to be the aggressor with the goods, King Queen.
Kornuth entered the day 4th in chips. Baldwin was in 5th.
Sorry.
Our chip leader was Jovan Santiago, eliminated in 3rd. Joelle Weinand started the day in 2nd. She went out in 4th place. $150K, $300K, and $300K big blind ante, a little bit more than 40 bigs on the table. So we're just due for another collision pretty soon.
Well, we've seen how these chips are flying around given the big blind and the stack depth. Baldwin at 15 bigs. Inevitable now that these pocket threes go all in.
Some more
Kornuth-
chips will be flying around at
yeah,
this very moment.
Kornuth has to fold here. I don't know, Jeff.
On.
I never count out a goose. And Gary the Goose, Eric Baldwin. He will not go quietly into the night. It seemed like it was all but over for Kornuth, and how quickly do things turn.
That jack on the river propelled him to the chip lead.
I mean, 18 outs. When's the last time you had an 18-outer? How about you guys in the chat? What's the most amount of outs you've had? You can have a 21-outer, right? Is that the most you can have? 21 outs? In any given situation? Can you have more than that? I don't know the answer to that. That takes a lot of thinking, and I don't have it in me. Help us out, chat.
All in.
All of it with the 9-6 suited.
Call.
Oh,
Oh,
boy,
wow.
just ran right into the ace-king of Chance Kornuth.
Racy.
Well, we've seen this situation before, a pure 60-40 scenario. Is it time for Eric Baldwin to get lucky? It's a bit of a race, as Chance Kornuth pointed out.
If Baldwin does get lucky, he'd be at 10 million in chips and would take a commanding lead if Kornuth's ace-king holds. This tournament is over. Ace, jack, deuce.
Gonna be tough.
That is going to be tough.
It's going to be
We're gonna
extremely difficult.
A sweat on the turn or another ace of diamonds.
Well, if the ace of diamonds doesn't pop up, Baldy could go 9-9 or 6-6. Instead, the deuce on the turn seals it. Chance Kornuth, your champion of event number 2. He wins $51,600.
Now we saw under the hood just how good this kid is, as well as Eric Baldwin, a tremendous runner-up finish inside the PokerGO Studio at the Stairway to Millions. These guys are going to hop in event number 3, opportunity to final table the 4K. A great showing once again by this guy, Eric Baldwin, and well-earned.
Yeah, just another solid finish for Baldwin. He wins $36,120, and it's another win for that man right there, Chance Kornuth, who has just been on fire over this last year. He wins this one for more than $51,000. Baldwin in second, Jovan Santiago eliminated in third, Weinand out in fourth for more than $23K. Brock Wilson and Jeremy Osmus round out. Brent, what was a very entertaining final table.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to do it again, Jeff. We're going to come back tomorrow.
Yes,
More Stairway to Millions.
We are on that stairway. Next up, the 4K price point as we continue to move up this ladder. Thanks so much to our crew. Thanks to Brent Hanks. And most importantly, thanks to you all for watching. We will see you tomorrow for final table coverage of event number 3 of Stairway to Millions.